Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This story is about, what if Naruto was trained by a deadman? If you enjoy watching my videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to never miss out when I post videos. Let me know down in the comments if you want more parts of this series. If you have any suggestions to how I can improve my videos, then comment down below. Also, I have noticed that only 25% of you guys have subscribed to my channel, so help me reach 2000 by the end of 2023. With all that said, let's start the video. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 1, Enter the Deadman. What's wrong, kid? A guy in a trench coat and eye patch says to the person standing over him. Why, Crow, why? I didn't want to kill you. The kid starts to cry. Crow just stares at him, he then laughs. Gonta, it was gonna have to happen eventually. Look at it this way, you get to brag that you killed the mighty Crow. As Crow lay there dying, he starts laughing harder, then a few minutes later he finally dies. In an unknown location, Crow looks around and notices that he's surrounded by blackness. What the fuck is going on here? Where the hell am I? He then brings his thumbs to his wrists and cuts them with the blades on the rings. Two long blades of blood shoot out of his wrist and he then growls, "You are in the realm you mortals call Limbo." A woman shows up and floats down in front of Crow. The woman's white hair and pale skin stick out in the darkness. She is wearing a kimono with the front open a little. Crow, or would you prefer Keiji, I am Kami. I am going to send you to a world where a boy will either save the world or fail and cause the world to be destroyed. You will reside in the mind of the child along with another being. When the child appears before you, you will teach him all of your knowledge. She then grins when Crow puts one of the blades at her throat. What if I don't want to, what then? All of a sudden he is surrounded by flames and his skin keeps burning and then healing. Fine, I'll do it. Kami just grins then snaps her fingers. Where Minato is sealing the Kyuubi into Naruto. Shiki Fuijin. A blonde man with spiky hair and a white haori on is holding a child and is facing a giant fox with 9 tails flailing behind it. All of a sudden the fox seems to be disappearing into the child. When a flash of white light appears and the fox is gone. Forgive me, Naruto. The man says as he falls back, dead before he hits the ground. At that moment an old man appears and grabs the crying child. The new Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi no Kitsune and the new prison for a certain deadman. The old man disappears and then reappears in a room with several people sitting around. Minato passed away after he managed to seal the fox away. He sealed the fox into this boy. His final wish was that the child be treated like a hero. The old man announces as he sits down at the head of the room. We must kill the demon before it escapes and kills us all. Several members of a group of nothing but fat men say. Meanwhile, on the other side of the room several people are looking at the child with a sense of detachment. They are, in order of seating, Tsum Inuzuka, a pharaoh-looking woman with brown hair, Hayashi Hyuga, a man with pale eyes that have no pupils and a cold demeanor, Shibi Aburame, a quiet man whose logic was unparalleled, Shikaku Nara, a man who was usually asleep or playing shogi, Inochi Yamanaka, a man with long blonde hair whose family technique allows him to enter the mind of anyone, Chuza Akimichi, big-boned gentle giant with red armor on, Fugaku Uchiha, a prick and a half, Asuma Sarutobi, a man who is always smoking and is wearing the symbol of the fire daimyos. Personal guard. The ones mentioned then sighed and released a little killing intent. Shut up, would ya? Shikaku sighs. The child should be given to the Uchiha. We are the only ones who can properly train him. Fugaku states arrogantly. That set off a long round of arguing. The clan heads arguing that no clan should have the child but their clan, and the civilians arguing that the demon should be killed right away. Would everyone shut the fuck up? A man who just walked in shouted, The man was in a weird outfit. His entire body seemed to be covered in bandages with only his eyes and pieces of hair shown. He was wearing a kimono with the top half open. Any guesses on who it is? Just put the kid in the orphanage, that way he can gain a sense of childhood. After the man left, everyone agreed that they would not influence the child in any way. The civilians then went and spread word that the boy was really the cutie in human form, which led to the creation of the S-rank law to never speak of the fox under penalty of death. 6 years later. Get him! A drunken man suddenly yelled out. He and 2 of his friends had decided to go fox hunting, which was just code for trying to kill one Naruto Uzumaki. The 6-year-old boy ran as fast as his short legs could carry him, but due to the fact that he hadn't had anything to eat in 2 days, he shortly tripped and the men caught up and started beating him. One of the men suddenly slammed Naruto's head into the ground and Naruto passed out. In Naruto's mind, so the Gaki finally shows himself. Crow says as he leans against a wall in front of a cage. Even so, what if the boy decides that because of me he has to kill himself, or he calls himself a monster? Do you truly believe that you could convince him otherwise? Crow. The giant fox behind the bars asks the former Deadman. Crow just laughs and notices the boy walking towards them. Oi, Gaki. Get over here before I drag your bum ass over. He then sees that Naruto has a dead look on his face, the look Crow had seen on the faces of so many different prisoners that decided to just not eat their candy, a look of one who just wants to give up and let death take him. Kid, look at me and tell me your name. Who is this man? Where am I? What's in the cage? Where am I? Why does no one love me? Naruto Uzumaki. Who are you? Naruto finally noticed the giant fox behind the cage, so that's why everyone hates me. The dumbass probably think I'm a giant female fox. Female? Crow thought, his eyes glowing with a sudden anger. All this time and you never once thought of telling me something that important. Then Crow looks at Naruto. He sees a dirty looking child covered with blood and bruises. So what happened to you? The villagers were beating me again. Naruto looks down, his eyes welling up with tears. All I did was ask for someone to tell me how to cook some ramen. Next thing I know, some guys started chasing me, yelling, "Demons don't need food," and when they caught me they started hitting me as hard as they could. I guess I am a demon then, huh? He sits down and brings his knees to his chest and starts crying. Let me take care of them, I'll take control for a minute and get you some help. Crow declares with a look of anger on his face. Outside. Guess we finally killed the demon, huh boys? One of the men said before they heard an evil laugh. They turn around and see Naruto standing up and holding a piece of metal to his palm. After cutting his palm he forces them together, causing his arms and veins to bulge. What are you doing, demon? Sorry to tell you, but Naruto's not here. You can leave a message when you get to hell. He then pulls his hands apart and a blade of blood comes out connected to the 2 palms. Sonic Black. Pieces of the blade go flying and hit the men, killing them instantly. What the hell happened here? Naruto-kun, did you do this? The Sandame asks, staring at the slightly crazed-looking blonde. Please don't be the fox, please. Naruto? Sorry old man, not Naruto. Not the fox either. My name is Crow, and like the fox I'm a prisoner here in the boy. Naruto happens to be having a chat with the fox about HHOW. He's a human child and she's a 50-foot demon fox. My life was, well, let's just say I went from one prison to another. Naruto will be able to use all my abilities and apparently the powers of other Deadmen. Deadman was termed used to describe anyone with an ability referred to as a branch of sin. I'll be teaching the boy most of my moves, except for the one I used tonight and one other, a move used by a guy I knew named Owl. The crow possessed Naruto. Explained to the shocked old man. Why were you in prison? On second thought, never mind. So will the fox try to influence the boy into releasing the seal? Will Naruto get anything from you? The Sandaime asked the reluctant Deadman. Well, he will get one thing from me, and that is someone who will never hate him. The fox refuses to influence the boy. She's gonna tell him about his father and mother. The branches of sin will become a bloodline. Oh, and before I forget, the kid was kicked out of the orphanage. Also, if it was possible, do you have any techniques for the boy to learn, anything at all? Also, I need you to make a custom order for Naruto, 2 thumb rings with blades. Crow asks the old man, whose face was open in blatant shock. With abilities and allies like this, Naruto-kun will be invincible. Wait, the fox is gonna tell him about his parent. Oh well. The Kagebushin would help the boy out, plus with parent scrolls and techniques. The rings shouldn't be a problem, plus with his bloodline. The Sandaime gets an evil look in his eyes. Crow-san, I will get the stuff ready, and I think it's time that I show the people why I'm the Kami no Shinobi. 10 years later. Will eventually be revealed in flashbacks. A 16-year-old Naruto wakes up and sees that it is only 5 o'clock in the morning. Well damn, there goes my sleep time. He gets up and gets dressed in his new clothes, a long trench coat with a white, 9-tailed fox on the back with a crow flying around it, combat boots, black pants with white flames going down the side, and a black muscle shirt. He then slips his blade rings on his thumbs and slicks his black, red, and blonde hair back into what was coined his crow look. He slips his belt on and hooks all his scrolls into the spots for them. So Crow-sensei, should I try this time? The boy mentally asks his internal sensei. Yes, Naruto, and kick that prick Uchiha's ass, plus drop the act about the pink-haired bitch, came the voice of Crow. In the classroom, Naruto was the first one in the room, and he walked up to his desk and sat down. As soon as he sat down, he put his head down and went to sleep, muttering about ramen. About 30 minutes later, Naruto woke up to a shriek of Sasuke Kun. I need help, my sanity can't handle this. Shut the fuck up, people are trying to sleep here, Haruno. Naruto said coldly, glaring at the pinkette. He then looked around and saw everyone staring at his new clothes and his new attitude. The fuck you all want? I ain't holding back this time, you weak little bitches. He then flipped everyone off and went back to sleep until Iruka showed up. Time to see if Naruto has finally dropped his act, because I need my quiet time. Iruka thought while he walked in. When he walked in, everyone turned and looked right at him. So, Naruto finally started to act right? He asked his little brother figure. Yep, oh, and Iruka-sensei, Ankone-chan wants to know when you're going to pick her up for another date. Naruto then appears next to Iruka. Sensei, if you break her heart, I will shove a Rasengan up your ass. He says where only Iruka could hear him. Naruto then disappears into smoke. Iruka then looks at Naruto still sleeping. Whoever introduced him to Anko needs to be hung. Across the village, a man wearing a face mask and reading an orange book sneezes. Naruto Uzumaki, please come on down to take your test. Iruka calls after everyone else. Perform the henge, Kawurami, and the Bushin. Naruto then transforms into Crow, switches places with Sasuke, then says Kagebushin and has it hit Sasuke in the head. Okay, that works, also you can show us another jutsu for extra credit. He says, then regrets when he sees Naruto's evil smile. Naruto takes one of his thumb rings and drags the blade across his palm before slamming his hands together. As his hands start to pulse and appear to grow, Naruto then points his hand at a target dummy. Sonokubaretto. The blood then forms multiple bullets and goes flying at the dummy, destroying it and parts of the wall behind it. That isn't anything compared to Crow-sensei's Sonic Black, but he won't let me learn that yet. Naruto says to everyone's immense shock and one emo's anger. Dobe, tell your sensei that he should be training me and not you. After all, What is a clanless loser, an orphan whose parents probably died by their own kunai, compared to an Uchiha elite? Sasuke doesn't notice the look of rage on Naruto's face at his words, but everyone else does, and then Naruto starts to leak ki. You and me, Taimi, one-on-one right now. The demonic voice coming from Naruto scares Sasuke even more than her. Naruto then grabs Sasuke and they appear next to the sparring area. As Iruka and everyone else show up, Naruto and Sasuke get into their unique stances, Sasuke with the Uchiha Taijutsu stance and Naruto in Crow's stance. Naruto cuts his forearms and the Sin Blades appear. Hajime. Iruka shouts out before dodging as Sasuke draws the wakizashi that he found in his house that morning. Shino and Shikamaru look at the crowd and shout out that they are taking bets on the winner. Shino holds the money and Shikamaru writes down the amount and who you bet for. Sasuke-kun, and I'll bet, a date with the winner. Ino says as she walks up to Shikamaru. Naruto-san. And I'm betting, my signed copy of Ika Ika, Flashy Habanero. Hinata says proudly. Sasuke-kun, and all I'm going to bet is 5,000 Ryo, don't bother about my conversion rates, this is roughly 20.00 USD, Sakura says as she glares at Ino. Naruto and Sasuke, completely oblivious to the bets being placed on their fight, have decided to break out the jutsu. Fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu. Sasuke yells out as he finishes the hand signs. The fireball gets closer to Naruto when it suddenly stops and is cut in half by one of the Sin Blades. My turn. Water style, Water Dragon Missile Jutsu. Naruto shouts as the dragon careens towards the Emo. I give. Sasuke yells as the dragon gets closer. Iruka holds his hand up and declares Naruto the winner. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 2, Team 7. Previously on N.T.K. Fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu. Sasuke yells out as he finishes the hand signs. The fireball gets closer to Naruto when it suddenly stops and is cut in half by one of the Sin Blades. My turn. Water style, Water Dragon Missile Jutsu. Naruto shouts as the dragon careens towards the Emo. I give. Sasuke yells as the dragon gets closer. Iruka holds his hand up and declares Naruto the winner. And now. The dragon then goes into the air and roars a challenge to the heavens, before it falls down into the water source for the people using water techniques. Everyone just stared at Naruto as he grinned sadistically. And laughs. You all should have seen your faces, it was just so funny. He shouts, before Iruka hits him over the head and points at Naruto's Sin Blades. Mind deactivating those, Naruto? I would rather not have a repeat of the last time you forgot about them. Iruka asks, before Naruto lets out a nervous laugh and deactivates the blades. Hinata then holds her hand out and everyone who bet that Naruto would lose hands over their bet. Ino, on the other hand, tries to walk away but Hinata grabs her and leads her to a tree out of the way. Browse just in community forum beta's story search. Anime/manga/anime/Naruto/anime/Naruto/. Plus. Ino-san, you wouldn't happen to be trying to get into my Nai-san's pants, would you? Hinata asks the blonde with an evil look in her eyes, cause then I would have to juken you into oblivion, or worse yet, I would tell everyone that you also read Ika Ika. Hinata then starts laughing when Ino does. Ino then looks at Hinata and gets a twisted smile on her face. So, Hinata-chan, he's your Nai-san? Does that mean you don't want him? I mean, with those eyes of yours you could probably see every part of him, couldn't you? Ino then starts to laugh at the blush on Hinata's face. Ino, Hinata, and Sakura please report to the arena for the Kunoichi Battle Royal. Iruka yells out, before he laughs at Sakura's pale face. It's okay, Sakura, it's only a spar. Against a member of the Hyuga and a Yamanaka, surely a Haruno such as you can beat two of the important clans in Konoha. Irika says to the Pinkette, rubbing in the fact that she was the only civilian to make it this far. And even then it was because her mother was on the council and was in charge of the academy. As the three get into the large arena, Naruto and the guys are taking bets on who will win. Hinata-chan, there is no doubt. I'll even risk my limited edition Ika, Doctor's Paradise, complete with a discount on any other copy to be released. Naruto says, pulling the book out of its special seal. Sakura-sama, and I will bet my scroll on Kenjutsu. A boy who was being watched by Sakura's family said. Ino, I'll bet an all-expense-paid meal at any one of my family's restaurants. Choji says, before munching on some chips. Sigh. Ino for sure, if I don't then she'll never shut up. I guess I'll bet 5,000 Ryo. Shikamaru says before he lies back down. Hinata-chan, I'll put up my special edition kunai set. Kiba barked out before everyone looked at Shino. Hinata-san. I am afraid that I have nothing to bet with. He says in his monotone voice. What about a spare set of your sunglasses? Some random boy who wasn't betting asked Shino. That would be most logical, so then I will bet a spare set of sunglasses. He says, pulling a pair out of a random pocket. Irika then shakes his head while listening to the bets going on. Seems like Hinata is the favorite to win. About time she gets the respect she deserves. The Chunin then sighs and raises his hand looking at the 3 kunoichi. Winner gets the top kunoichi spot, loser is put on the first available team. Hajime. Hinata then activates the Byakugan and gets into her personal stance. A stance that she had perfected after Naruto helped her with her training. Sakura looks at Ino and sees her ex-friend give her a sadistic grin, before pulling out a kunai and holding it in a reverse grip. Sakura then gets into a sloppy FRM of the Academy Taijutsu style. A bit of tumbleweed drifts across the arena and Sakura starts to sweat from the tense silence. As a drop of sweat drops down into the dirt, Hinata moves towards Sakura as Ino moves towards her as well. Sakura tries to back away from Hinata but ends up getting a Juken strike to the arm, causing her to spin into a kick from Ino. As Sakura goes flying out of the ring, Ino and Hinata start to go at it and end up with Ino having a kunai at Hinata's throat and Hinata having a Juken strike, ready to hit Ino's heart. The two look at each other and then grin. I give Irika-sensei. Ino says before all the guys who weren't betting on Hinata to cuss. As everyone is lining up and dropping the things they bet in a pile, the three winners look at each other. I guess I'll take the Kenjutsu scroll, unless one of you two wants it. Naruto says looking at Kiba and Shino. They shake their heads and he puts into a seal. Shino takes the all-expense-paid meal and Kiba takes the 5,000 Ryo. Come back tomorrow for team placement and the start of your careers. Irika shouts to the gathered students. Later that night in Naruto's mindscape. So, Naruto, who do you think will be on your team? Natsum, Kyubi, asks the boy. Probably gonna put me with Sasuke or Kiba, and the kunoichi will probably be Hinata or Sakura. Naruto answers while Crow just looks at Naruto. Naruto, I guess it's time for you to learn a new move. Not Sonic Black though, you're not ready for that yet. The move I'm gonna teach you is one that I only saw before. The owner of this move was named Owl. His branch of sin happened to let him form explosives from his blood. Due to certain events he ended dying while fighting one of the Undertakers. Crow says the last word with venom in his voice. So, does this mean that there is more than one type of branch of sin? How many are there and how many will I be able to use? Naruto asks his mentor. Well, yes, there is more than one type. You should be able to use any and all types. As for how many, I have no idea. Now to use owls you'll need to cause your blood to form a miniature balloon with compressed chakra inside. As you do this don't forget to control the blood to float away from you. We'll start with 2 and then we'll move to a higher number. Crow explains, somehow getting a professor's outfit on and pointing to a blackboard that appeared out of nowhere. Crow, what if he uses his chi bushin and uses this technique to make his clone a walking bomb? Couldn't this ability make him too powerful? Natsum says. Before seeing Naruto look at her blankly. Natsum-chan, idea is such a smart one, but look at it this way, what if my opponent is a sensor-type shinobi? I must use any and all techniques at my disposal to guarantee my victory. Naruto replies with a smug look on his face, before Crow cracks him on the back of the head. You're gonna be hard to beat, not impossible. A single mistake is all it took for me to die. Crow then looks at the questioning look he was receiving. I guess I can tell you my story. On my world I told you all about my sentence and what I did to help that Gonta kid, right? Well, after about 3 months I and Gonta were put back into a cannibal corpse match, and well, I thought that I could win without even trying. Gonta beat the shit out of me, and when it seemed like he would win I used my Sonic Black. He countered it with his Sonic Barretto and one of them hit me in the chest and crushed it. As I was drifting away, I guess that he finally realized he killed me cause he started to cry. Little Gaki probably thought that life was gonna get better. Crow then looks at the two, sees them with tissues in their hands, pause, and were crying. Fuck you too. Naruto started his training and Crow was watching him. Naruto Kun. I wonder what you would do if you knew that you already had a bloodline. I wonder when you'll unlock the... You'll be unstoppable, that I guess. That soon you'll start to train to use my power as well. I will not fight it and you should be able to control it so long as no one messes with Seal until you have my power under control. Natsum thought while watching as Naruto once again proved that he was a combat genius by mastering the basics of the move within a few minutes. The next day, Naruto gets dressed and puts his headband on his shoulder and leaves his apartment. As he heads towards the academy he goes over the blood bomb technique and its various uses, including setting traps, and making it impossible to get too close to him during the charge-up phase for his stronger moves. Soon I'll actually be able to use it, I can't wait. As Naruto was walking past a bookstore he sees the newest copy of Ika Ika on sale. He buys 2 and quickly jumps towards the academy. In the classroom, an emo with a superiority complex stands above everyone and demands that they all bow down to his emo-ness, and all of a sudden the hero walks in and kicks him and forces him to give up his plot. What really happened? Sasuke was trying out a new glare and all of his fangirls were swooning over him. When Naruto walked in he kicked Sasuke into his evil fangirls of doom. Naruto sits down and starts to read How to Escape from the Emo-ness by Natsuki Uchiha, ignoring the glare from Sasuke. Sakura, seeing a chance to get on her crush's good side, tries to hit Naruto. Naruto baka, you shouldn't read that with Sasuke-kun in the room. When her fist is about to connect, Naruto activates his blood armor. What the hell is that? Sakura demands the blonde branch of sin. My bloodline. It allows me to use my blood as a weapon or armor. Geez Haruno, I thought you would have realized this by now. Guess that big forehead of yours is truly empty. He then looks at her and shoos her away. Also, if you had attacked I just would have traded places with your precious Uchiha. Sakura growls and then goes and tries to punch him. Right before her fist hits him he trades places with Sasuke and lets him take the hit. Iruka walks into the class and sees Sakura standing over a knocked out Sasuke. Didn't think you had it in ya, Sakura. He laughs out watching her go into panic mode. I have a list of the teams, and I'm supposed to give some big speech. But I figured what the hell, I'll probably see most of you again next year. So here are the teams. Team 1. Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, and Haruno Sakura. Your sensei is Hatake Kakashi. Team 8, Hyuga Hinata, Inazuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Your sensei is Yuhi Kurenai. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10, Yamanaka Ino, Narashikamaru, and Akimichi. Choji, your sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. Now all of you, if I see you again, pray it's not in this classroom as students. With that Irika walks out and starts to hum, thinking about not putting up with any more of the Uchiha's bullshit. Naruto's head hits the desk hard after Irika announces that Kakashi is his sensei. Why, Kami, why? He despairs, his teammates looking at him like he was crazy. What's wrong, Dobe, mad that I'll show you up? Sasuke taunts the blonde. Yeah, Baka, bet you're mad that you'll never get me. Sakura jeers. Fuck you, both of you. Our sensei is one of the last students of the Yondaime. Kakashi is also known as the tardiest shinobi in the village. Naruto glares at the two. Bullshit. Both Howler Monkey and Emo shout, he's right. A man says while walking in, Team 10, you're with me. He looks at Naruto and hands him a scroll. Here's that jutsu you won from our bet. Thanks Asuma sensei. Naruto says before sealing the scroll into a seal on his arm. How are you and Kurenai sensei? Fine Naruto. A woman says as she appears in front of everyone. Her long black hair seems to shine, but the most captivating part of her was her eyes, an exotic red. Team 8 you're with me. As the two teams leave and everyone else's sensei shows up and leaves, the members of Team 7 start to do whatever they can to pass the time. Sasuke was thinking of killing his older sister, Sakura was watching Sasuke and dreaming of being married to him, and Naruto was playing poker with a couple of ANBU. As the time drags on and the ANBU leave, with Naruto richer than before, Sasuke starts to fantasize about killing his sister and having everyone bow to his awesome emo-ness. Sakura starts to plan on chewing her sensei out and being married to Sasuke, and Naruto is now doing a puppet show of Sasuke getting his ass kicked by his older sister while Naruto chills with his two sisters. 3 hours later, Sasuke is staring at Naruto and trying to make him burst into fire. Sakura is reading How to Stalk an Emo by Fugaku Uchiha, and Naruto is now doing a puppet show of Sasuke being surrounded by fangirls, while Natsuki and Naruto are chilling with popcorn. This is what Kakashi sees when he opens the door to the classroom. Let's see here. A fangirl that can be used as cannon fodder, an emo who has a sister complex. Also Naruto, who I owe money to. Because of that bet. Hello team, I'm your sensei and dash. You're late. Sakura shouts out, blowing the eardrums of all the guys in the room. I am also the one who decides whether or not you become shinobi. As I was gonna say, I was late due to the fact that the newest Ika was released today and I had to get a copy, only to find that the store was out. As I left, a black cat walked in front of me, so I had to walk around the village 3 times so that I wouldn't have bad luck. As I was walking, an old woman asked for help with her groceries and I decided to help her, and that caused me to be late. Kakashi then smirked at how Sakura was getting mad. So Kakashi and you didn't forget about the bet, did you? 'Cause I have in my possession the last copy of the newest Ika. Naruto looks at his older brother figure and holds his hand out. When Kakashi hands over a scroll, Naruto hands him the Ika. Thank you, Kakashi and sensei. Naruto then looks at the other two. I purposely bought the last 2 copies so that he would have to pay up. Kakashi then looks at the other two. Meet up on the roof in 5 minutes, or I'll decide to leave and read my book some more. With that, he uses a shushin and disappears. How are we supposed to reach the roof in 5 minutes? Sakura asks her 2 teammates, only to find that neither was there. As she runs out and heads to the roof, she plans on cursing Naruto to the deepest parts of hell. When she finally gets to the roof, she looks at her teammates and sensei and glares. How the hell did you 3 get here so fast? Shushin no jutsu. The threefold reply came. Alright, now that all of you are here, let's start the introductions, shall we? Kakashi asks the 3. Sensei, why don't you start so that we know what to do? Sakura asks, ignoring the dumbstruck look her teammates and sensei gave her. This is the smartest kunoichi of the generation? I call bullshit. Okawe. Let's see here, my name is Hataki Kakashi, my hobbies are. My dreams are, not important, my goals in life. I'll tell you when you're older, and my dislikes are. Youth. Kakashi then I. Smiles and points at Sakura. Your turn, Pinky. Sakura growls at the name. My name is Haruno Sakura and my likes are, looks at Sasuke and squeals. My dreams are, looks at Sasuke and squeals again, my goals are, do I need to say it again? My dislikes are Ino Pig and Naruto Baka. So a rabid fangirl. Okay, your turn, Emo Prince. Sasuke just glares. My name is Sasuke Uchiha and I have few likes, such as planning how to kill my sister, brooding about my sister, fantasizing about killing my sister, and ultimately becoming a king of emos. I dislike Sakura. My dream is not a dream but an ambition. To kill my older sister. King of emos, huh? Well, good luck. And now you, Naruto. Naruto then all of a sudden starts laughing. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, my likes are ramen, Natsum, Natsuki, Kro-sensei, Hinatane, Ankone, Irika-sensei, Asuma-sensei, Kurinai-sensei, Kakashini-sensei, training, reading, and Aika. My dislikes are emos, fangirls, rapists, traitors, pedophiles, and idiots who don't know the difference between a kunai and the scroll it's sealed in. My dream is to travel across the elemental nations and find those like me and offer them a chance to be loved like the family, and to have a large family. My goal, however, is to kill 2 people, Orochimaru team and the masked Uchiha. Naruto finishes by releasing a small amount of Ki. Guess he must know what really happened that night that Minato-sensei and Kushina-sama died. Kakashi then notices that Sasuke is looking at Naruto with a weird look, almost a look of camaraderie. Well. Then team, I guess that tomorrow will be the day that I test you to see if you even get to become shinobi. Well, show up at training ground 7 tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning and skip breakfast or you'll throw up. With that, Kakashi disappears with a shushin and so do Naruto and Sasuke. That night at a tattoo parlor. Naruto is staring up at the man who is going to give him the tattoo that he saw on Crow. So, Gaki, you want me to tattoo what over your eye? The large mass of human asks. D8MK. Naruto tells the person. So, how's the family, Kyler? If anyone can guess where this character is from, I will let you choose one additional power for Naruto. I also do not own this person, yet. Same old, same old. My daughter wishes that you would show up more often. The man replies while gathering his supplies. You know this tat is gonna hurt, right? The man asks the young shinobi. Yeah, but I think I can handle it. Naruto replies sitting in the chair. The next day, Naruto, complete with his new tattoo, gets up at 8 o'clock, and eats a large breakfast. When he leaves his apartment, he waves to his neighbor Yugao Yuzuki and her boyfriend/fiancé Hayate Gecko. He then starts to head towards the training grounds, waving to those he was on good terms with and flipping off most of the civilians. As he approaches the training grounds, he hears something running towards him. He turns around and sees Kakashi running away from Mato Guy and Rock Lee. He went that way. Naruto says, pointing in the opposite direction. Thank you, Naruto Kun. Guy and Lee yell out before running that way and away from Kakashi and Naruto. Thank you, Naruto. Nice tat. Let's go scare your teammates. Kakashi tells his little brother figure. Naruto nods and tells Kakashi about his newest ability. At the training ground. Sasuke was known for being quiet, hell he never said more than necessary, but at this moment he was tempted to cuss Naruto out for leaving him alone with Sakura and her incessant talking. Sakura, let's play a very fun game called Shut Up and Leave Me the Fuck Alone. I don't like you and you're annoying. Sasuke snaps. Sakura was, on the other hand, only listening up to the point, Sakura. After that, she started to daydream. Naruto then walks into the clearing covered in blood. Sasuke. Sakura, I'm afraid that. He passes out from blood loss and falls down. Sasuke and Sakura start to look around and don't notice that a small bubble of blood is coming up from Naruto's wounds. When the bubble gets to the size of an apple, it explodes and causes the two to jump in fright. When they start to hug each other and beg not to be killed, they hear a click and see Kakashi and Naruto holding cameras. Priceless. The duo says, high-fiving each other. Alright, now that the pleasantries are over, I'll go over the test. He pulls two bells out of nowhere, holds them up. Simply get a bell from me before the timer goes off. He then smiles, course since there is only two, that means that only two of you will pass, if any of you pass. He then sees Naruto reading his book again. That includes you, Naruto. But sensei, what if I don't finish the book and it causes me to be anxious, and the anxiety causes me to use a jutsu that is too powerful and causes the destruction of the hidden leaf? In Kumo, a shinobi with a lollipop looks into the air and senses another overthinker, right before his teammate hits him into the ground for ignoring her. Back in Konoha, everyone just looks at Naruto and sees that a lollipop magically appears in his hand. Anyways, anyone who doesn't have a bell when the timer goes off will be tied to a post and will watch the others eat lunch. As Kakashi says this, Sasuke and Sakura's stomachs growl. Naruto just grins and laughs. If that's all. Hajime. Everyone spreads out except for Naruto. Naruto just puts the book up and brings out his sin blades. As he and Kakashi stare each other down, Kakashi sees that Naruto is about to move forward. Kakashi-sensei, you might want to bring out the Sharingan. I tend to get a little crazy with these blades. Kakashi reaches up, reveals his Sharingan, and takes a kunai out. Let's see if you're any better than last time. As him and Naruto start to fight, kunai on Sin Blade, the other two are listening to a clone of Naruto that is explaining the meaning of the test and giving the two a plan that involves Naruto as bait. When the two nod, the Kagabushin dispels and Naruto gains the memory and puts the plan in action. So Kakashi and sensei, how far have you got into the book? Naruto asks as he ducks under a wide swing and ends up eating a knee from Kakashi. Oh, you know that I take my time with Jiraiya-sama's art. Kakashi states as he looks at Naruto and notices that Naruto had blood coming from his lip. Hey Kakashi-sensei, I got something to say. Naruto says, looking at his sensei. What, Naruto? Kakashi then notices that a small amount of blood is on his pants from when he kneed Naruto. Shit. Kakashi looks as a small bubble floats up and explodes right next to the bells. Katsu. Naruto then grabs the bells and tosses them to Sakura and Sasuke. They can eat, I'm still full from my breakfast. As Naruto stands there, Kakashi looks at the other two and notices that they throw their bells at him. We either go on together or not at all. Sakura says proudly. With Naruto on my team, then finding my sister will be easy. Sasuke then looks at Naruto and sees a cheesy grin. Plus, he can help push me and Sakura into being better shinobi. Kakashi looks at his team and sees Obito over Sasuke, Rin over Sakura and Minato over Naruto. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 3, Missions and Wave. Previously on N.T.K. As Naruto stands there, Kakashi looks at the other two and notices that they throw their bells at him. We either go on together or not at all. Sakura says proudly. With Naruto on my team, then finding my sister will be easy. Sasuke then looks at Naruto and sees a cheesy grin. Plus, he can help push me and Sakura into being better shinobi. Kakashi looks at his team and sees Obito over Sasuke, Rin over Sakura and Minato over Naruto. And now, in the woods around Konoha there were 3 things you never wanted to run into: Mitarashi Anko, Uzumaki Naruto, or Tora. Anko would probably torture you for a couple hours then let you go with a warning to never come into the forest again. Naruto would prank you so fast that you'd never even know until you were laughed out of every place you went, and chasing Tora would mean you were a genin. Maelstrom, in position. Banshee, in position. Pink Eyes, in position. Aerocyclopes, in position. Naruto, you're never choosing names again. As the 3 surround their target, Tora spots them and growls. As Sakura goes to try and pick Tora up, the cat slices her arm leaving small scratches. Sasuke goes next and tries to force the cat to submit to his eliteness, which got him scratched and almost had his eyes cut. As Sasuke was planning to use a fire style on the poor animal, Naruto comes up and grabs the cat, looks it in the eyes and then walks away while Tora purrs in his arms. Browse just in community forum Beta's story search anime/manga/anime/naruto/anime/naruto/plus. As they walk through the village towards the Hokage's tower, Sasuke and Sakura see that a lot of the people in the village are glaring at their teammate. Wonder what the baka did? Sakura thought, before she tripped on a loose stone. When the villagers saw this they immediately blamed Naruto on pushing her down. As they start to get close to Naruto, a sudden spike in Ki causes everyone to turn around and look into the faces of Marino, Ibiki and Mitarashi Anko. When the villagers see who they pissed off they scattered. "Thanks Ankone, Ibiki and I," Naruto said to the 2 torturers. As they nod their heads and head on back to whatever they were doing, Sasuke begins to wonder why the crowd had it out for the blonde. Sure, his pranks were annoying, but even Natsuki liked Naruto. "Uzumaki Naruto, what secrets are you hiding, and why do I have this feeling like it will change the way things are ran in this village?" As Sakura stands up and notices the icy glare that she was getting from Naruto. "I didn't say you pushed me, I slipped on a loose rock." She glares back at him. "I've been wondering for a while, but what is up with the design on your coat?" She asks Naruto only for him to stop and turns his head slowly. "It's a secret. If I told you then you would be unable to speak about it to anyone." He then looks at Kakashi and sighs. "I'll tell everyone during our first C-rank mission." He then resumes walking towards the tower with a neutral look on his face. When they get to the tower they walk up to Mission Center. They see the Hokage waiting with the fire daimyo's wife. When she sees the cat, she snatches it from Naruto and starts to squeeze it. Team 7, reporting another successful mission of catching Tora, Kakashi states with a glance at his team. Sakura is glaring at the cat. Sasuke is wondering if he could use the cat to lure his sister into a trap. And Naruto was reading Fangirls and Fanboys, Top 10 Warning Signs and How to Avoid Them by Uchiha Natsuki. Kakashi just sweat drops at the 3's choice of time killers, and wondering where Naruto keeps getting books by Natsuki. In a cave inside Fire Country, Uchiha Natsuki was many things: powerful, lusted after, a target of her little brothers, and even an S-ranked missing Nin, but the most important part was she was the author of several books on escaping emo-ness, fangirls, and fanboys. She made it a habit of sending a signed copy to Uzumaki Naruto, even if it was just to piss her little brother off. As she got up from the place she was lying down, she looked over at her partner in the Akatsuki, Hashige Kisame. The tall blue shark man was the only one who knew that she was really a spy for Jiraiya, who they just so happened to be meeting at the moment. As the white-haired Sannin walked into the cave, Kisame walked out to serve as watchman. "So Natsuki-san, have you gathered any new news?" Jiraiya asked as soon as he sat down. "Yeah, Orochimaru plans to attack Konoha during the next Chunin exams. He will be bringing in his new village Otogekyure and might be allying himself with Tsunagekyure. He will have 3 main targets: my little brother for his Sharingan, Naruto-kun for his branch of Sin, and Sandim-sama for well, everything. I might also be able to tell you this, Amigakure is no longer in a war, but they are still closed to all travelers. The civil war in Kirigakure is almost over as well. The rebels are winning, and the Yonde Mizukichi was found dead with a slit throat. Other than that, I have no new information. What about you, anything new on Naruto-kun? Natsuki finishes. Jiraiya just sighs at the news and then perks up. Yeah, he graduated and was put on the same team as your little brother and the Hirono tramp's daughter. He has finally stopped acting like a spoiled child. And is actually showing everyone the true him. I overheard that he has also been completing missions at a rate that would make you seem slow. He is due his first C-ranked mission in 2 days. He is heading towards Wave. I want you to meet him in Wave and train him in Genjutsu. Jiraiya then looks over towards Kisame. Do you think he could teach Naruto how to use a sword? Yeah, I could teach this Gaki. Kisame says from the entryway. As Jiraiya stands up, Natsuki finally steps into the light and her long black hair shines in the light while the rest of her body is covered by a cloak with red clouds. She turns towards Kisame and he nods. As the 3 S-ranked shinobi separate, Jiraiya looks ahead and prays that Naruto gets the help he needs. Back in Konoha, at the same time as the meeting. The Hokage looks at the newest Team 7 and then looks at his mission choices. Team 7, in 2 days' time you will escort Tazuna to Wave, where you will protect him from bandits and the like until the bridge he is building is finished. This mission is your first C-ranked mission and the first mission where violence is most likely guaranteed. I wish you luck and will remind you that all of you must be on time for this mission. He says this last part looking at Kakashi and Naruto. I have also heard word that several bandit camps in the area have started to disappear, so we must treat this as a minor war between bandits. Do not get separated unless you are in Wave. Otherwise there is no guarantee that you will come home. As he says this, Sakura looks uneasy. Hokage-sama, what do we do if a bandit attacks us? She meekly asks. Kill them before they kill you, was her reply from everyone else in the room. Naruto thinks back to the scene from after Crow slaughtered the villagers and all the bandit hunts he went on. Sasuke thinks back to the aftermath of his sister's massacre of the Uchiha clan. Kakashi thinks back on the Third Great Shinobi War. As Sakura looks around and sees the various looks of certainty on everyone's face, she starts to shake. Kill, why should we kill them? They should at least have to pay for their crimes in jail. She finally gets out. Sakura, we are shinobi. We do not do meaningless tasks. Everything we do has been prepared for. We are taught how to kill. Every target at the academy was shaped like a human for a reason, and a fireball is not something that is used to knock a person out, it's used as a dangerous attack meant to kill. Kakashi explained to the Pinkette. Sakura starts to collapse in on herself and shivers. As everyone stares at her, a random Chunin snaps and points at her. How in the fucking hell did she become a kunoichi? The sudden outburst makes Sakura break down into a teary mess. What was she told this job was? Whoever told her she would never kill? Why am I talking like this? Sasuke thought. I'll take her home for today. I'll see if I can't get her some help as well. Sasuke states. As he grabs Sakura and walks out of the room. When he leaves, everyone looks at the doorway funny. Did Sasuke just willingly take Sakura somewhere? Naruto asks with a stupefied look on his face, a look mirrored by everyone else. Ah, well, at least he's getting close to another girl. Everyone looks at him questioningly. He was actually convinced in the academy that every girl there was out to kill him because it was his sister who killed his family. Course that doesn't make any sense because she was with me that day. As Naruto rambles on, everyone gets a surprised look on their faces. What? Everyone shouted, never once thinking of asking Naruto if he had met Natsuki on that terrible day. Yeah, I was hanging out with Natsuki and all of a sudden she gets surrounded by these weird ANBU, they had NE on the side of their masks. One of them told her that she was under arrest for the murder of the Uchiha clan. At least 2 hours before she supposedly killed them. It seems like a load of bullshit if you ask me. Naruto then starts to ramble again. Danzo, what did you do? What was so important that you couldn't even tell me? Hiruzen thought while looking at Kakashi. Naruto-kun, I'm assigning an S-ranked mission to you and Kakashi, bring in Sasuke if you must, but I want you to eliminate Shimura Danzo and all of his root operatives. You have 2 days. Head out now. The Sandame states while Naruto and Kakashi look at each other and disappear. At Sakura's house. Sasuke walks out and sees Kakashi. When he walks over he sees a serious look on Kakashi's face. What's going on? Mission, S-ranked. You, Naruto, and me. We're eliminating a hostile faction within Konoha. We have 2 days and fire-free orders. These people might have done something worse than even Orochimaru did. He replies. Like what? Sasuke asks as he gets a serious look on his face. He then notices Naruto walk up with a scroll and catches it when Naruto tosses it to him. He notices that is his supplies. Sasuke, these are rude ANBU, they might just have framed Natsuki. Apparently she spent the day with Naruto and was attacked by the men 2 hours before the supposed massacre. They accused her of killing your clan. Kakashi states and notices Sasuke's look of unadulterated hatred. They all head towards the home of Danzo. At the home of Shimura Danzo, Danzo knew something was up, the village was suddenly locked down, and anyone in the streets was sent home. Despite being in his early 60s, Danzo wasn't senile. He knew that the only reason for this would be if a spy or hostile faction was discovered to be operating in Konoha. He looks outside and notices that his root forces were tense. He then looked further out and saw Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, and Hatake Kakashi heading towards his place. Why would they be heading here? I didn't send for Team 7. Wait, where is the Haruno girl? Danzo then knew why the lockdown was started when the 3 started to kill his ANBU, his forces were found out. If the Uchiha boy is here and helping them, then he must now know that my forces were the ones who really killed his pathetic clan. Well then, looks like I will really need to fight. He then starts to unravel his bandages around his eye and arm, revealing a Sharingan eye and an ARM with 10 other Sharingan eyes in it. He then draws the sword he was hiding in his cane and heads outside with the determination of one who knew he wouldn't survive the day, a determination that would end with him taking out at least one of his attackers. Sasuke was livid. His sister was framed by these insects that seemed to come out from every crevice and opening of the elder's house. He was so furious that his anger awoke his Sharingan and was slowly increasing its strength. It was like all of his anger would use his eyes as an avenue to burn all of his enemies to death. As his Sharingan seemed to morph, a black flame spread out and started to burn them. Umbu. Is this Amaterasu? The mythical black flames, so then my eyes have finally woke up. With these eyes I will help my sister come back to Konoha, to have my sister return home. Sasuke thought as he stabbed an ANBU that got too close. Kakashi was showing why he was once an Umbu captain, his tanto out and flashing with the white chakra that made his father famous. He remembered the day that he received this blade. He remembered how it broke in a fight against a particularly fierce battle against an IWA shinobi. He sees the black flames and sees that Sasuke's eyes were different than normal Sharingan. Sasuke had unlocked the fabled Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi then sheathed the tanto and got into a famous stance. Lightning started to surround his hands. He then started to run forward. Raikiri, he yelled out as he started to kill Root forces left and right. Naruto was a silent force. His sin blades were slicing his enemies with every movement. When he got cut, he used the wound to use the blood bullets and started to kill root forces at a distance. His eyes were unconsciously drawing in chakra and were shifting between red and blue. Sonicubaretto. He said when he swung his arms in a wide arc and the bullets came out and killed multiple root men at once. He then started to let out balloons of blood from his wounds, which healed once they served their purpose, and they started to surround him while he started some hand signs. Wind style, bloody wind wave. He shouted as the balloons popped and were carried by the blood and covered all of the remaining root forces. When they all started to laugh at the seemingly useless attack, they saw an evil grin on Naruto's face. Katsu. He drawled out and all the blood exploded with a ferocious force. He then turns to Sasuke and they both nod and start hand signs. Wind style, great breakthrough. Naruto shouted out as Sasuke finished his hand signs. Fire style, grand fireball jutsu. Sasuke yelled out as he shot a giant fireball into the wind, erasing all traces of the bodies of the slain shinobi. Congratulations, you managed to kill my men. Now I must kill the three of you. Danzo said as he walked out his house with an emotionless look. When he came into sight, Naruto, Kakashi, and Sasuke all wanted to kill the bastard even more. You bastard! You dare to pervert the dead remains of the clan you slew to increase your own position. Sasuke shouted when he saw the eyes of his clan members in the arm and eye socket of the elder. You are supposed to protect the village, not exploit it to your own benefit. Kakashi shouted with a murderous glare. So that's why you wanted to kill the Uchiha clan? You killed women and children who would never even use the Sharingan, also you could pervert the eyes to your own sinister plans? Shimura Danzo, you are going to die here, even if it cost me my life. Naruto coldly states as his hair covers his eyes. When he looks up, his eyes are yellow, with a slit through them. The whites of his eyes turn an evil shade of black. His sin blades suddenly disappear and he opens a scroll with the word guitar on it. He spreads a little blood on the scroll and a black guitar pops out. When Naruto grabs the guitar, it splits in two right down the middle and the top of the handle suddenly opens. He then holds them like two guns. Thanks go to Greed the Avarice for the idea of using the guitars as an additional weapon. When Naruto points them at Danzo, he starts to laugh and Danzo sees the image of a guy dressed like a monk with red hair behind Naruto. I was saving this for when I finally got strong enough to fight Orochimaru and my other target, but you will be a good target for practice. Naruto says when he finishes laughing. Danzo looks into the eyes of the young Jinchuriki and sees the seriousness in them, and he prepares to subdue the Kyuubi when black flames appear on his good arm, causing him to look over and see Sasuke glaring at him with his Mangekyo active. When Danzo tries to jump away, Kakashi appears behind him and drags a kunai across his throat. When Danzo then disappears and reappears behind everyone, they notice that one of the eyes on his arm was closed. Danzo then goes to attack Sasuke only to get hit by a blast of chakra from Naruto's weapon. As Danzo goes flying backwards, Sasuke comes up and stabs him in the heart, causing the elder to disappear again, only this time two more eyes closed. Danzo then started some hand signs, but was interrupted by another chakra blast. Chakra as a weapon, the basis behind some of the most destructive attacks, and my guntars use it to the fullest. You die here, Shimura Danzo. Naruto then pushes as much chakra into the guitar as possible and fires a concentrated blast at the elder, causing him to disappear and then reappear with three eyes closing now. Kakashi then starts the hand signs for the wind style, great breakthrough. Naruto and Sasuke look at each other and grin before starting similar hand signs, fire style, grand fireball jutsu. The two boys yell out, causing the winds to enhance the two fireballs and killing Danzo for the fourth time. Danzo then appears behind Naruto and stabs him in the stomach before a certain Nicomaste Anbu arrived to aid the three and stabs Danzo in the heart and finally killing him. Sasuke then sees that Naruto wasn't healing as fast as usual and deduced that Danzo must have used a poison on his blade. Unknowingly to Sasuke, his eyes returned to their Mangekyo state and used some of Sasuke's leaking chakra to help jumpstart Naruto's healing. Don't ask how this happened. These eyes seem to bitch slap death in the face at every turn, so why not have the ability to heal others? Also, Sasuke will not feel the after effects of using the Mangekyo due to him not killing his best friend to get it, mainly because Kakashi never seemed to complain of blindness and because this is my story. When Naruto's wounds healed, the first thing he did was get up and seal his guntars back into the scroll they were in. As the three nod at each other, they leave the ANBU there to clean up the mess. The three then appear in the Hokage's office and report that Danzo lay dead and that he had implanted Sharingan eyes into his body. The next day, Sakura wakes up and sees that she is in her room. As she looks around, she remembers why she blacked out and decides to ask her mother something. Sakura walks out of her room and sees her mom in the kitchen. As Sakura walks forward, she remembers all the times her mother told her that since she was on the council that Sakura was guaranteed a spot on Uchiha Sasuke's team. "Mom, what is the job of a shinobi?" Sakura asks timidly. "A shinobi are the ones who keep everyone safe. Your job is to get rid of that damn demon boy and marry Uchiha-sama," her mother tells her with venom in her voice. Sakura then hits her mom and runs out crying. "All this time she wanted me to marry Sasuke and ruin Naruto. She didn't want me to succeed. That's it, from now on I will live on my own and never take the Haruno name again," Sakura thought as she ran down the road towards her teammates' houses. She stops in front of Naruto's house and knocks on the door. When Naruto opens the door, she sees bandages on him and a sleepy look. "Naruto, do you think that you could come with me to see Sasuke? I don't know which house is his." As Naruto looks at her state of dress, he nods and heads in to grab his coat and keys. "What happened? You look like you've been crying," Naruto asked. No. My former mother told me that she never wanted me to be a shinobi. I punched her and ran away. From now on I am only Sakura, not Haruno Sakura," she says the last part with fire in her eyes. Naruto sees her seriousness and grins. "Well, Sakura, let me just say this. Sasuke probably won't want to talk. Yesterday after you collapsed we got a mission to eliminate Shimura Danzo." Naruto then saw Sakura look at him funnily. He then sighed. S-ranked, and it was non-stop killing. Danzo had to die. He was the one who killed Sasuke's family and framed his sister. He implanted Sharingan eyes in his arm and right eye. He died 4 times, and even managed to wound me, Naruto explained as they walked towards Sasuke's house. "So then, if we find his sister, she can return to the village?" Sakura asks, only to see Naruto nod with a small grin. She then grins and knocks on the door of the house they stopped in front of, and Sasuke opened the door in nothing but pants, much to Sakura's surprise. He also had a tattoo on his arm of an ace of spades. "When did you get the tattoo?" she asked. "When I made the mistake of betting against Naruto," Sasuke answered sleepily, only to quickly wake up when he realized who asked him the question. "What are you doing here, Sakura?" he asked. Sakura quickly told him what happened and saw that he was angry. He looks at Naruto and then the proverbial light bulb flashes over his head and he grins evilly. "The two of you should live here with me. I have more than enough room for both of you, and this way our team is even closer. The best part is that now we can train whenever we need to." The two boys look at Sakura and notice that she needs even more training than they do. "Hey, Naruto, can you see if Anko could help us out with Sakura's training? I think we might even need to get a hold of your other friend," Sakura then turns pale, even she knew about Naruto's extended family, Anko, Ibiki, Hinata, and then there was her. She was always so very quiet, that almost lifeless look always scared the shit out of Sakura, that crazy Saya girl who moved to the village almost 4 years ago. Saya was a girl with short black hair and red eyes. She was also known to be completely crazy and hated all fangirls. Saya is at work today, Naruto said and then chuckled at Sakura's expression, at the tattoo parlor. Hey Sayane, me and Sasuke have a job we would like you to do. Our teammate here is in need of training, and well you're the best. Naruto said as he walked into the parlor, only to dodge knives thrown at him. So, Naruto-kun, you asked Kyler-sama to give you a new tattoo, but avoid your older sister, the girl behind the counter asks. Her red eyes shining with mischief and boring into Naruto's head. She has on blue jeans and a trench coat, a katana at her side. She was known as the vampire of Konoha due to her condition that required she feed on blood or become weaker than an old leaf. I do not own this character, she alas is not mine. Saya looks at Sakura and shakes her head, Naruto, if you want my help you better be willing to pay. Also Kyler heard that you're going to wave and wanted to ask you if you could pick up a package there that's waiting for him. Naruto just sighs then looks at Sakura. Sayane, I'll pay whatever you want. Saya then gets an evil grin and grabs Naruto and takes him to the back room. 5 minutes later she walks out with Naruto, and Naruto is holding his neck and glaring at her. Thought you weren't going to do that anymore? She laughs then hugs him and walks up to Sakura. Barely any muscle, no training, and most importantly no techniques to work off of. Perfect. Because now I can just start with my training instead of tearing you down and then rebuilding. However, you won't be able to make it for your C-ranked mission if you start training with me. So choose your training or a mission. Saya says sighing, before grinning at Sakura's look of determination. I'll take the training. As I would be nothing more than trouble if things went south on the mission. Sakura then looks at her teammates and sees them grinning. When we get back you better be ready to train with the big dogs, because we'll be training for the Chunin exams in 7 months. Sasuke and Naruto tell Sakura. As the two walk out it occurs to them to go and tell the Hokage about what is going on and to see if they need a replacement teammate. In the Hokage's office, Haruno Sakura was several things, an annoying banshee, obsessive stalker of the Yondaime, former mother of Sakura, president of the Naruto Haters Organization, and, finally, pissing the Sandaime off. That demon convinced my dearest daughter to hit me and to run away, and I was told yesterday that he tripped her and caused her to fall on the road. I also have witnesses that claim he and my daughter went to attack Uchiha-sama. Sakura lied to the Hokage. Really cause that's not what happened. Sasuke himself said as he walked in followed by Naruto. Sakura came to us after being told that her only use was ruining Naruto and marrying me. So then I say this, if Naruto is to be punished for anything then I say you should too. Hokage-sama, our third teammate has decided that instead of going on a mission that she is not prepared for she is going to be training under Saya and Mitarashi Anko. We would like to know if there were any kunoichi that could replace her on this mission. Sasuke explained to the Hokage. He then glares at Sakura and activates his Sharingan. Also our third teammate wishes to have her name changed from Haruno Sakura to just Sakura. Sakura gasps at this and starts to plead with the Hokage to not allow it. Allowed, and she will also receive half the funds of the Haruno clan, as well as half the funds of all members of the Naruto Haters Organization, which will also be disbanded as of now with the rest going to Uzumaki Naruto. Also the only kunoichi who could go with you guys is waiting for her team to heal, so you two will have to go and pick her up if you want her to join you guys. The Sandaime says. She usually is around training ground 9. The Sandame then kicks Sakura out and glares at all the paperwork before making a Kagebushin and letting it do all the work. At Training Ground 9, Tenten was pissed. Her teammates had gone and got themselves injured on their last mission, a mission that didn't even involve fighting. All she knew was that until her sensei and team was fully healed, the only one on active duty was her. As she sat down, she noticed two people walking towards her, Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. The two were both known to be students under her sensei's rival Hatake. Kakashi. What do you two want? She asked huskily. Well, we needed a third member for our team and the Sandame said that you would probably like to help us. Naruto said calmly. If it's not a C ranked then no. She replied only to see the grins on the two's faces. It's C ranked, ain't it? They both nod. Yep, we're meeting at the West Gate tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Sasuke answered, then the two walked away. The next day at the West Gate, Tenten arrived to see that Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, and an old man were waiting for her. She noticed that they all had weapons on. Naruto had his rings and a nodachi, Sasuke had the wakizashi he had started to use, and Kakashi had on his old tanto. She then noticed they all had something to do. Naruto had out some puppets of people fighting, Sasuke had a book on fighting, and Kakashi had out his Aika. Aika. She looked at the old man and saw that he was drunk. So I waited all this time for some kids that barely look like they can fight. Tazuna would have gone further in his insult, but Sasuke, Naruto, and Tenten all had something at his throat. Sasuke had his wakizashi, Tenten had a chikudo, and Naruto had one of his sin blades out. Kakashi noticed this and sighed. Tazuna-san, these three are some of our best. Naruto here is probably one of the best people for this type of mission due to his Kekai Genkai, the branches of sin. Sasuke is a member of the Uchiha clan and his Kekai Genkai makes him a hard opponent to beat at any time. Miss Higurashi here is a student of a friend of mine and is already a year-long veteran. He then points towards the west and yells for everyone to head out. 2 days later, the team and the client had been on the road for 2 days with no sign of anything happening. When they reached a certain area, they noticed two puddles in the middle of the road. They all deadpanned and threw kunai into the puddles only for the puddles to disappear as two guys came out. Seems they found us, brother. The one on the left, Meizu, said to the one on the right, Gozu. Seems so, brother. Gozu said with a leer at Tenten. Naruto and Sasuke nodded at each other and rushed into the battle. Naruto was using his nodachi and his sin blades, the three blades becoming a maelstrom of death as he rushed at Gozu. Sasuke had his Sharingan blazing as he charged towards Meizu, his wakizashi out dragging across the ground as he gathered chakra into his arms to help swing the sword faster. Naruto and Gozu were trading strikes back and forth, Naruto's three blades against Gozu's armored and poisoned gauntlet. Naruto then smirked as he spit a small amount of blood on Meizu and backed up while activating his Kekai Genkai. The blood on Gozu blew up, knocking him out. As Meizu watched his brother hit the ground, he was distracted long enough for Sasuke to knock him out. As the two were tied up, Kakashi started to glare at Tazuna. Why were we attacked by shinobi? He demanded from the old man, who broke into tears and told them about all the shit his family was going through with Gato in charge. The two brothers woke up soon after and verified the information before Kakashi sent them back to Konoha and his team headed out. 2 more days later, after a day and a half on the boat, slipping in past Gato's patrols and various pirates that worked for Gato, the team had made it to land. As they were walking, Naruto and Sasuke was each reading a book. Sasuke was reading his book on wakizashi techniques while Naruto had a book called Nodachi and Zanbato Techniques, volumes 1 and 2 by Momochi Zabuza. All of a sudden Tenten threw a kunai into the bushes and then a white rabbit quickly hopped out. Before anyone could say anything, they all hit the ground as something came soaring over their heads. The giant sword then got stuck in a tree while the guy who threw it appeared on the flat of the blade with no shirt, or eyebrows, and the Kirigakure headband on his head sideways. He also had on bandages around the bottom half of his face and camouflage arm warmers. This man was Momochi Zabuza, an A-ranked missing nin from Kirigakure. So, the infamous Sharingan no Kakashi. No wonder the demon brothers never stood a chance. He laughed when all of a sudden Naruto appeared in front of him and held out his book. Zabuza signed it then. Dodged the Nodachi that Naruto swung at his head. He then noticed that all the people on the Genin team had the look of those who had taken lives before. The blonde in front of him had definitely taken life before. No one could have been able to move under his ki otherwise. He grinned savagely as he swung his sword and collided with Naruto's, throwing the blonde backwards into a tree where he burst into smoke. A Naruto walked out from behind a tree and charged at Zabuza, before getting cut in half. When he got cut he burst into blood, covering Zabuza's sword and most of the ground. As Naruto then appeared behind Kakashi he grinned. "Sorry Zabuza-san, but Katsu." As Naruto then caused all the blood to blow up and send Zabuza flying onto the water, he noticed that Kakashi was looking at him blankly. "Who are you? 'Cause Naruto ain't that good?" Kakashi asked. "Crow, my name is Crow," Naruto said in a deeper voice before he pointed at Zabuza and noticed that he started some hand signs. "Hell no you don't bitch. Sonic Black." The crow possessed Naruto. Cut one of his palms and forced them together. When his veins were visible to everyone he pulled his hands apart and watched as he forced a blade out which then started to fire towards Zabuza. Zabuza finished his hand signs and caused a giant water dragon to rush towards the blades, only for it to burst after the first two. The rest of the fight goes as canon due to Crow using too much blood and causing Naruto to pass out. Kakashi didn't get caught and Haku took Zabuza away. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 4, Ice and Revelations Part 1. Previously on N.T.K. Crow, my name is Crow, Naruto said in a deeper voice before he pointed at Zabuza and noticed that he started some hand signs. "Hell no you don't bitch. Sonic Black." The crow possessed Naruto. Cut one of his palms and forced them together. When his veins were visible to everyone he pulled his hands apart and watched as he forced a blade out which then started to fire towards Zabuza. Zabuza finished his hand signs and caused a giant water dragon to rush towards the blades, only for it to burst after the first two. The rest of the fight goes as canon due to Crow using too much blood and causing Naruto to pass out. Kakashi didn't get caught and Haku took Zabuza away. And now, Naruto woke up and noticed that he was somewhere he never remembered going. At least he didn't think so. He got up and noticed that his stuff was being sat on by a crow with Sharingan eyes. Either I got drunk and ended up doing something stupid with someone, or Natsuki wants something from me. The crow calls and points to a small scroll. Naruto picks it up and reads it. Naruto-kun, if you are reading this and the crow is still there then I need you to follow it. If the damn thing ain't there, then fire a blood bullet into the air. Also, if you really must then tell Kakabaka that you have something you need to do in the woods. Natsuki. Naruto looks at the crow and sees that it was sleeping. He sweat drops and then puts the scroll into a seal on his belt. He then puts everything on and straps his sword to his back. He walks out and notices that Kakashi was out cold, Sasuke was meditating, and Tenten was nowhere in sight. Course, everyone happens to be occupied. Where is Tenten though? Naruto then walked out and followed the crow into the woods, unknowingly being followed by Tenten. When the crow stopped, the first thing Naruto saw was a big guy with blue skin, blue hair, shark teeth, a cloak with red clouds, and a large bandaged something on his back. "Who the fuck are you?" he yelled at the FSH man. "Hashigate Kisame, I'm Natsuki's partner in the Akatsuki. I'm also a former member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. Kisame grins when Naruto looks at him with respect, before face-vaulting when a girl with her hair resembling a panda comes flying out and begging to see the sword on his back. What the fuck was the mutual thought of all three people who saw this. Natsuki walked out of the shadows and stood in front of Naruto while Kisame tried to get Tenten away from Samehada. So, Naruto-kun, I see you have come to meet me. Have you learned nothing? This could have been a trap to capture you. She gasps when Naruto appears behind her and the one in front of her dissolved into blood. So, you used the blood clone to see if you were in danger while the real you stays at a good distance away? That is a very good plan. I guess the first thing for us to do is get your teammate away from mine. Natsuki then grabs Tenten and stares at her before Tenten settles down and finally notices that she is face to face with Uchiha Natsuki, the youngest ANBU captain that Konoha ever had. Good. Now if you are going to stay here, you must be quiet. She then sets Tenten down and Natsuki and Naruto have a staring contest, with Naruto winning. Natsuki just sighed and Naruto grinned. Naruto-kun, I was asked to come and help you with training. Kisame here is going to help with Kenjutsu, mainly through the use of a Zanbatsu. She notices that Naruto was holding up a copy of Nodachi and Zanbatsu Techniques, volumes 1 and 2 by Momochi Zabuza, and that it was signed by Zabuza. So you already have started to train using them, good. I am to help you with Genjutsu and help your ninjutsu out. She then finishes and Kisame walks over to Naruto. Alright Gaki, here's the thing, I am used to using a Zanbatsu, so if you are going to learn from me then you need a Zanbatsu. Fortunately for you Samehada here can duplicate herself. Unfortunately for you, you gotta earn the right to wield her. Kisame then notices that Naruto had a sudden sadistic grin on his face. Kisame's grin matched Naruto's as Naruto disappeared and then reappeared behind him with one of his sin blades out and heading towards his head. Kisame blocks with Samehada and the blades clash as Kisame then pushes Naruto away and punches him in the stomach before slamming him into the ground with Samehada. That all you got Gaki? Maybe I should be training the girlie over there. Kisame taunts, pointing at Tenten. Naruto then stands up and does a few hand signs. Water style, cataract. Desolation. As Kisame grins, Natsuki and Tenten get out of the way. The giant waterfall heads right for Kisame who then disappears into the water after it hits. Naruto stands on top of the water and is then puts his finger into the water and closes his eyes. All of a sudden Kisame jumps up behind him and swings Samehada down just as Naruto falls into the water. Kisame then puts his hand on the water and yells out, water style, feeding frenzy, as 5 water sharks start to swirl in the water around Naruto. Naruto starts to do some hand signs, before a sudden whirlpool appears in the water and Naruto uses the whirlpool to drag Kisame down to the bottom, only for Kisame to use the momentum to knee him in the face and push him back onto the land. When Kisame jumps onto the land he ducks as Naruto throws some shuriken and kunai. Naruto then starts to be surrounded by bubbles of blood that spread out from around him. Kisame-san, I'm afraid that this move ain't finished yet. Why don't you tell me how it feels? Naruto's coat is then thrown off as 2 wings resembling crow wings made of blood appear on his back. All of my translations come from Google, so if they are wrong blame Google. Ketsueki 2, Kaimamire no Tenshi. Roughly blood art, bloody angel. Naruto then takes to the air and the wings start to form circles of blood, which then fired at Kisame repeatedly. Kisame grins and dodges all of the blood bullets. He even does a slow motion bit where he dodges 10 of them. I do not own the Matrix. Kisame then appears behind Naruto and slams him down and holds Samehada at his neck. Give up Gaki. Kisame then holds his hand out and helps Naruto up. As Naruto gets up, he then passes out from blood loss. Give him a minute and he'll be up, Natsuki says from the sidelines. In a couple of minutes Naruto jumps up and looks at Kisame. Damn, I messed up with that final technique. Guess I don't have the amount of blood figured properly yet. Everyone looked at the blonde like he was crazy, which occurred to the 2S ranked shinobi that he very well could be. Kisame looked at the kid and scratched his head. Did I break him? Everyone just face vaulted and looked at him blankly. Natsuki hit him in the back of the head and told him to sit in the corner of doom. This was the only place that wasn't completely soaked by Naruto and Kisame's water fight. As Kisame grumbled and sat down, Tenten was in shock at the complete insanity of the S-ranked shinobi. She then noticed Naruto and Natsuki sitting down across from each other and pulling out money and cards. You realize that betting against me is a bad idea, right, Natsuki? Naruto asked the Uchiha. He then grins when she glares at him, before she smirks and starts to shuffle. Kisame walks over and Tenten sits down at the edge and everyone is handed cards. Naruto, what's the game this round? Natsuki asks. Naruto grins and then pushes a book in front of Natsuki. The book is a comprehensive list of every card game known to man. He points to a game that doesn't have a title. The rules were very confusing. What were a card, and a gun, and what in Kami's name was? I want to just say that this game was made by a friend of mine, and it is satanic. I'm sexy. And I know it. This rule made it so that I cringe every time that song plays. As everyone reads the rules, Naruto is busy sealing all of his money away and is leaving at an extremely quick pace. Like hell. He was gonna play that game. When everyone was finished, they shuddered at the thought of the game. What the hell was wrong with the makers of that game? Answer: severe boredom, excess free time, and the twisted sense of humor that makes me hang out with crazy people. Naruto was almost able to get away when he ran right into a girl picking herbs. When he went to get up, she did as well, and they ended up getting tangled together and staring at each other from a couple feet apart. They both blushed while Zabuza and Kisame were looking at the two and smirking, before they each realized why the other person their student/victim was with. Haku, get away from him. Gaki, find Zabu-chan. Zabuza then turned and saw his former comrade and saw that the golden-haired boy just sighed and flipped Kisame the bird. Zabuza then saw that Kisame had gotten behind him and was eating something that Zabuza had just picked up from a new restaurant in the village. A restaurant ran by Gato, of course. Kisame then chuckled and pointed behind Zabuza, and it was Haku staring at Naruto like he was crazy. Course Naruto transforming into a miniature Kisame and flipping himself off wasn't crazy. Zabuza turned and Kisame then kicked him onto the ground. Hey Zabu-chan, whatcha doing here? Zabuza then flipped Kisame off as well. As he got up, he noticed everyone looking at a girl that looked like a panda. Tenten just watched as Naruto apparently was magnet for dangerous people. First Natsuki and Kisame, then Haku and Zabuza. She then noticed that Zabuza had no eyebrows. She did the dramatic point and yelled, "Did Gai-sensei steal your eyebrows?" which caused everyone who knew of the man to laugh. Natsuki laughed as she walked into the clearing at the same time as Sasuke and Kakashi. The two did not see what was so funny, until they saw everyone laughing at Zabuza, who was just glaring at Tenten. Kakashi looked at Naruto, who repeated what Tenten asked, and then even Kakashi was laughing. Natsuki disappeared before Sasuke could see her, and Kisame then disappeared after grabbing Zabuza and Haku. Well, since everyone is here, why don't we talk strategy? Naruto, you and Sasuke will be guarding Tazuna while Tenten and I guard Inari and Tsunami. Sasuke, while you're guarding Tazuna, don't forget to be constantly on the lookout for Zabuza or Gato. If you get the chance, take Gato out of the game permanently. Kakashi received a nod from all three of the genin. Naruto then made a couple of Kagebunshin and sent them to Natsuki to receive the training for Genjutsu at Zabuza's hideout. Haku was in her room while Zabuza talked to Kisame. She was remembering the boy who she got tangled up with and all the stuff that Zabuza said he did during the first battle. She then blushed when she remembers that Zabuza called her his daughter when Kisame asked just who she was. Zabuza was trying to comprehend what Kisame was saying. The boy he fought against was a Jinchuriki, and he hadn't even used the Biju's immense power against him. The boy was also gonna be trained by Kisame in the art of swordplay. Hell, if this kid could almost beat him without training, imagine how bad it would be if he got training. Then Zabuza remembered how Haku seemed to be attracted to the kid. Hey, a father knows these things, and he wondered if just maybe that could be used to help him and her survive. Kisame, I want you to arrange a meeting between the Gaki and myself. I need to talk to him about something important. Zabuza was completely serious and Kisame noticed. Kisame nodded, and then left in a water shushin with Natsuki and Naruto's Kagebunshin. Natsuki was astonished, completely and utterly astonished. Naruto was a fucking genius of genjutsu. She saw that he had a genjutsu around him at all times, a genjutsu that hid several different weapons. So instead of teaching him genjutsu, she would teach him all she knew about sealing and eye-based genjutsu. Naruto also showed her his golden eyes and laughed when she asked what they could do. Naruto took to sealing like a fish to water, and then Natsuki just stood there wondering what else she could teach him. He was already strong enough to spar with Kisame, his speed could only increase, and his technique pool was deeper than hers and Kakashi's combined. Kisame was gonna teach him kenjutsu, Kakashi had been teaching him taijutsu and ninjutsu. He had all the chakra of the fox under his complete control. He even could play those damn guntars like a pro. She just stood there, still wondering what she could teach the boy. I could always teach him the summoning technique, fuck Jiraiya, and his plans. I'm gonna teach Naruto how to summon crows. Natsuki then walked over to her bedroll and pulled the crow contract out from seal it was in. Naruto-kun, I want you to come over here and sign this summoning contract. She yelled as one of the clones dispelled to give the original the message. Natsuki then remembered that the guy sealed in Naruto with the fox was named Crow. Fuck it. Naruto suddenly appeared in the clearing and caused Natsuki, who was enjoying some light reading, to jump when he appeared surrounded in blood. She then noticed that his face was serious. Naruto sighed, and told her about how some of the people in the village tried to attack him in order to get his money. He then told her that no matter what, Gato was dead if he saw him. I'll strangle the damn midget myself. Naruto growled out. Natsuki then handed him the scroll and told him to prick his finger and write his name in blood on the first open spot. He signed it, Namikaze Naruto, and then Natsuki taught him the hand signs for it. He then performed the hand signs and slammed his hand down on the ground and a cloud of smoke popped up. When the smoke cleared, a crow the size of a house was there. Natsuki-san, are you the one who summoned me? The majestic crow asked the Uchiha. I'm sorry Noriki-sama, but I'm not the one who summoned you. Natsuki said to the boss summons of the crows. Of course Naruto-kun would summon the boss on the first go. She then pointed to Naruto. He's the one who summoned you. Noriki looked down at the young man who summoned her and noticed that his coat had a white crow on the back. Child, why is there a crow on the back of your coat? Did you do this thinking that you would be assured the role of being our summoner? No, I am the Jinchuriki of the Kyubi no Kitsune, and I also have a man sealed in me who went by the name Crow. The crow on my back is in honor of him. Naruto replies in one of his rare completely serious and respectful attitudes. Well, in that case I would be proud to have someone who will become as famous as you use the crows for your summons. I will also assign a newly hatched crow chick to be your familiar. Cliché, yes, but it happens to be leading to our next guest. Her name will be left for you to choose, so I say this now, good luck and may you always survive. With that being said, Noriki leaves and Naruto looks down at the hatchling and sighs. I suck at names. Shihime. Yeah, that'll work. Naruto says as the hatchling caws and looks up at him. That's a beautiful name, Naruto-kun. Natsuki says, happy that Naruto actually was allowed to summon the crows. Then she blushed when Naruto grinned and his eyes had a mischievous shine. Oh, Natsuki-chan, I think it's time for your reward. Naruto says grinning as Natsuki backs up and he grins. With Sasuke. Sasuke was sitting down watching Tazuna and the workers on the bridge while they were working. Tazuna was standing around and telling everyone what to do. Sasuke had a Kagebunshin reading over a fire-style scroll that Naruto had lent him. Naruto had also taught him the Kagebunshin and told him to only use one for now. Sasuke then remembered how Naruto could and did spam the clones whenever he got the chance. Sasuke, thinking about training, then wondered how Sakura was doing. He also remembered how Naruto had gotten his sister to train Sakura. He shuddered when he thought of a Sakura that had been trained by Anko and Sayo. Sasuke then thought back to when he was told that his sister had killed his clan. Flashback. Sasuke was happy. He had been staying with a friend of Natsuki's that had a daughter. The woman, whose name was Misane Amaha, had watched Sasuke a few times in the past. Sasuke loved going over there and hanging out Misane and her daughter. The two never coddled him or told him that he would eventually surpass his sister. They just told him straight out that his sister was always going to be more awesome than he was, and the funny part was that he never actually cared. As he was heading home, an ANBU appeared and told him that Danzo needed to talk to Sasuke. When Sasuke showed up, Danzo had come up to him and told him that his sister had killed his clan and that he was the only other survivor. Danzo had a smirk the entire time, but to Sasuke it looked like a gentle smile from the old man. Sasuke then swore he would get his revenge. Sasuke had started to avoid Misane and even wondered if she was part of it. Sadly, she left after a Jounin tried to rape her and her daughter. The Jounin was then found torn up in Training Ground 44. Sasuke noticed that Naruto was absent that day during the academy. The fangirls that constantly swarmed him got on his nerves. How they dare call themselves kunoichi when all they ever did was complain during physical training and talk about fashion. If his sister had heard all that, she would have killed them where they stood. Asterisk, flashback end, asterisk. Sasuke then thinks about what he feels for Sakura, and he realizes that the feeling makes him feel better. As he sighs, he realizes that Sakura would be a target if they got together, a guy with the ability to use his blood as a weapon, the last male Uchiha, son of the White Fang and student of the Yondaime Hokage, and then a pink-haired former fangirl. She would be a target if there ever was one. Any half-bit team that wanted to be famous would go after them. His eyes turned into their Mangekyo form and he swore then and there that Sakura would be safe as long as he was alive. He then deactivated the eyes and watched as Naruto returned with a baby crow that was talking on his shoulder. Only one person could summon crows, and if Naruto could now, then that meant that she was here. Is she here? Naruto, is Natsuki here? The former emo asked. Yeah, but she asked me to not tell you where she is yet. I told her about your new plans and she agreed that it's time she came home. She only has a couple things that she needs to first. Naruto replied to his teammate and friend. They then watched as the sun began going down and Tazuna came up to them and told them it was time for everyone to go home. When they got back to Tazuna's house, they saw that Inari had come out and was waiting for his grandfather. When he saw the two shinobi, he glared at them before hugging his grandfather and running back into the house. Sasuke and Naruto just look at each other and shrug. When they walk in, Tenten sees the crow chick and Naruto tells everyone about what he was doing, leaving out the whole training with Kisame till that bit was over with. Everyone just stared at him, only he would consider hanging out with two S-ranked shinobi that could kill all of them with toothpicks. So you mean to say that while I was watching Tazuna on the bridge, you were learning things from my sister? Sasuke growled out to Naruto. Dobe, I hope you're ready for me to kick your ass into next week. Naruto flipped Sasuke off and Sasuke grunted before flipping Naruto off. Come on with the come on, team. Naruto replied holding his hand out in the universal sign of bring it on bitch. Everything was tense. When Tsunami walked in and hit both of them with a wooden ladle. There is no fighting in this house. She then turned and looked at Kakashi. You should have taught them better, they are your students. She then looked at Tenten. You're the only sensible one here. Besides me. You and I need to remind these boys why we're better. Her and Tenten shared a smile, before everyone saw Naruto and Sasuke grinning. Hey Naruto, what do you say we help Tenten train in dodging taijutsu, ninjutsu, kenjutsu, and your blood bullets? Sasuke asked his friend. I think we should Sasuke, it would be such a great training exercise. Naruto replied with an equally sadistic grin. Plus, I have to test my Sonicubaretto. So, Tenten-san, are you ready for a Team 7 training match? Naruto and Sasuke grin when Tenten remembers that Naruto was fighting Kisame a few hours ago. Tenten remembered how Naruto could shoot off bullets made of his blood. And then she remembered that move he used against Zabuza. Naruto, what is Sonic Black? Tenten asked spontaneously. Naruto then sighed and looked at Kakashi, who then nodded and sat the other two genin down. What you are about to hear is considered an S-ranked secret, to tell anyone without the permission of the Hokage or myself will result in immediate execution. Everyone knows the story that the Kyuubi no Kitsune was killed by the fourth in exchange for his life. Well, that story is only half true. He did give his life, only you can't kill a Biju, you have to seal them up, and from the Gobi up they have to be sealed into a person. If you think about it, it's kind of funny how stupid some people are. I am the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. The Biju is sealed in my stomach. However, apparently I have another prisoner sealed in me. His name is Crow and the place he came from was an alternate dimension, he went from one prison to another actually. You see, on his world, he had what was known as Branch of Sin, which was a virus that manifested in the form of unique abilities with the person's blood. His were the blades you see me use all the time. He was eventually killed in a twisted game set forth by the warden of the prison. He died laughing. And then he met Kami-sama herself, who told him he was to be sealed into me. With his knowledge, my regeneration factor, and the Kyuubi herself, I have a lot going for me, huh? Naruto explained, anxiously awaiting an answer from his two friends. Tenten was in shock, the guy in front of her had a Biju sealed in him, a fucking Biju. So that Sonic Black move was Crow's move? She asked meekly. Naruto nodded as Sasuke stood there thinking. I can tell Sakura about this, right? Naruto nodded and Sasuke let out a breath. He then saw everyone looking at Tenten. Come on Panda girl, he trusted you. With his greatest secret, don't make me have to mind wipe you. The thoughts of the former Avenger were all about helping his new friend. Tenten thought about it and realized that it was the same principle as the scroll she used to transport her kunai and other weapons. As everyone watched her, she just shrugged her shoulders and looked at Naruto. So you have a giant fur ball sealed in you, doesn't make you a fur ball. It's the same principle as my weapon scrolls. She then noticed everyone let out another breath. Kakashi then noticed that Naruto looked a little bit happier. I think it's time for me to reveal another secret for you. Naruto, Sasuke, and even you Tenten, I have an S-ranked secret for you as well. Naruto. You are the cliffhanger. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 5, Ice and Revelations Part 2. Previously on N.T.K. Kakashi then noticed that Naruto looked a little bit happier. I think it's time for me to reveal another secret for you. Naruto, Sasuke, and even you Tenten, I have an S-ranked secret for you as well. Naruto. You are the... Now. Naruto, you are the son of Uzumaki Kushina and Namikaze Minato. Your parents made several strong enemies and thus they decided that should anything happen to them while you were still young you would go by your mother's maiden name. Also that makes you the heir to both the Namikaze and Uzumaki clans. You are officially in the same boat as Sasuke, the last male of your clan, or clans. Kakashi stated expecting to hear a bit about why I wasn't told or some other bit. Instead he heard Naruto say that he already knew that. Natsum told me. Naruto replied. When everyone looked at him weird he sighed. The Kyuubi. At this everyone nodded. Naruto then noticed that outside it was raining. I've got to get some training done. I'll be back eventually. Naruto then headed out into the rain. Sensei, do you think that Naruto will be okay? I mean it is raining. Tenten asked the Cyclops. Naruto loves the rain, he routinely made sure to always train when it rains. He is just like his mother that way. Kakashi replied, before looking at Tenten and noticing that she was staring at the door. He can't get sick so he'll be okay. A lightning bolt hits the ground outside and the bang causes everyone to jump a little. Sasuke stares outside and notices the brief outline of what appeared to be a gate. I must be imagining things. Like a gate could appear out of nowhere. Sasuke then went to bed and thought about how he would explain all of this to Sakura. In the middle of a clearing, a man is lying on the ground. His short spiky black hair seems to be matted to his head due to the rain, and the blood coming from the wound in his stomach. He was mainly nondescript, except for the mask he had on his face. The mask was white with a purple arrow heading down on one side. He turned his head and saw someone heading his way. Naruto was enjoying the rain and walking towards a clearing he knew to be in the area due to his training with Kisame. He then felt something on his leg. He looked down and saw the man. Hey damn it, let go of me. Naruto called out, only to notice the man was injured. Shit man, what the fuck happened to you? I was fighting another contractor. The mystery man gasped out only to feel an interesting feeling when Naruto's hand glowed green and his wound started to heal. The voice in his head told him that it didn't matter. He was going to die because of the poison that was injected into his system by the other contractor. How? He asks the teenager in front of him. Medical ninjutsu. Naruto then notices that the man has no chakra and there was a foreign poison in his system. What is your name? He asks while asking Crow if he recognized the man. Naruto, I think this man might be from another dimension like I am. In fact he probably is. Naruto, make sure this man survives. Crow commanded Naruto. My name is Hei. I was a contactor in Tokyo, before the Hell Gate opened and tore me from my dimension. You're probably thinking that I'm crazy because I'm saying I'm from another dimension, huh? Hey! Says to Naruto as he begins to prepare an antidote from the millions of herbs he had sealed on him. No. I got a giant demon and a guy who can use blood as a weapon from another dimension sealed in my stomach. Your story is actually very normal. Naruto answers laughing at Hei's expression. So, you have something sealed in you as well? I have a girl who was obsessed with me sealed in me, and she taught me how to do it. Kid, I'm gonna die, so why don't I just seal myself in you so that I can at least survive on in some way? Hei then grinned, plus you can use my mask if you want, it is made of the hardest material to ever exist. In my dimension anyway it was. This will probably give you my power without my price, so here we go. Hei then disappears in a bright light and when it fades all that is left is the mask, and a knife and pulley system. Damn it, give a guy some warning next time. Naruto grumbled then picked up the knife and sealed it into a seal on his arm, before taking the mask and seeing if it fit. When he put it on Natsum then channeled some of her chakra to it and reinforced the material. So this is what the kid's mind looks like? Yes Heikun, and now that you're sealed into him I was able to get out. A feminine voice sounded next to Hey. Amber, you mean that you're out now? Yes, Hey. Does that mean that Naruto can use your abilities as well, without the cost? Yes, but it will be very limited. I won't teach him though until he masters your abilities first. Can you two shut the hell up? It's bad enough when Naruto argues with himself. If you can't stop, I will devour the both of you. Natsum yells at the surprised couple. Yes, Kyubi-sama. The two replied quickly. Outside the mindscape, Naruto sat there hearing the argument inside his head. As the rain came down even harder, he looked into the sky and noticed that lightning was flashing every few seconds. Naruto sighed and walked towards the clearing. When he got there, he noticed that someone else was there. The person looked at Naruto and grinned. Hello, child, you're just in time for the feast. The meal is, of course, you. The man jumps towards Naruto, and when the lightning flashes, Naruto catches a look at the man who is attacking him. The man's skin was scaly and green, his eyes were a sickly yellow, the clothes he wore were rags, and the worst part was the teeth. The man's teeth were noticeably red from the meal he had just enjoyed. Just as the man was about to kill Naruto, a flash of black lightning appeared and a sword with most of the blade hollowed out, think Halibel's sword from Bleach except just a Chikuto, cut through the man. Worthless piece of shit, attacking anyone who looked at him. Just why was I sent here? I mean, this is time that could be spent pissing Hiroshi off. The new man to appear was odd-looking, the black robes and straw hat reminded Naruto of the Akatsuki robes that Natsuki and Kisame wore, but the weird part was the sword. The hilt looked to be regular, except for the weird symbol on the bottom. The symbol was a red fawn surrounded by flaming sands. The guard on the sword was extremely weird to Naruto. It appeared to be a dragon, but the fangs looked different, almost like they were going to drain you of all your blood. The man was wearing fingerless gloves and his eyes were covered by sunglasses, but his smirk showed extended canines. The man looks down at Naruto and Naruto sees that he was surprised. The fuck is ya, kid? Uzumaki Naruto. Who the fuck are you? Naruto replied. Boy, watch your fucking tone. I am the one and on dash. Pain in the ass vampire, Tomohiro Teki. A new man replied, appearing out of nowhere. The new man was nondescript, except for the tattoo of a crimson fawn on the top of his arm. The katanas at his waist were each unique. One looked like a solid black hilt while the other was a solid white one. I think you scared the shit out of the kid. You really are a menace and a pain in the ass. Tomohiro, please just leave. The man asked the other. Fuck off. Tag Gala. Tomohiro replied. I was just gonna wipe the kid's memory. He then notices that his sword disappeared and reappeared in Naruto's hands. Or now I'm gonna watch as Ruin kills the brat. Naruto was looking at the weird blade that just appeared in his hand. He felt the energy in the sword head into his body. Before he could fight the feeling, he was pulled into his mindscape. In the mindscape, Naruto appeared in a part of the mindscape that he avoided, the memory section. He then noticed as a black-haired woman was moving around and watching his memories. What are you doing here and who are you? He asked. Ruin is my name, and I'm looking to see if you are worthy of wielding me. She replied in an indifferent tone. She then reached the memories of before he found his sensei. Her anger spiked every few seconds, and when she was done she looked at Naruto and had tears falling down her cheeks. Kid, when you get out of here, ask Hiroshi to let you use Thanatos and Armageddon. Tell him that they will agree to it. As she pushes Naruto out, she sees him nod out of the mindscape. He ain't dead yet, Tomohiro, Hiroshi stated to his acquaintance. He grinned when Naruto woke up and looked at him. Hiroshi? At Naruto's questioning tone, he nodded. Ruin told me to ask you to let me wield Thanatos and Armageddon, that they would let me. Naruto waited for his reply. Hiroshi was shocked. Ruin had just told this kid to let him use both of his blades. This kid would practically be a god on the battlefield with all three. Never mind Ruin's ability to use Tomohiro's ability to activate and channel his lightning, but to cut into the very soul of his enemies. Thanatos would love to be used in actual battle, but she can be a little bloodthirsty. Armageddon, I shudder to think what this kid could do if he ever received Oblivion as well, would probably be capable of wiping out everything this kid faces. Why the hell shouldn't I do this? Hiroshi looks at the kid and hands him both of his katanas. As Naruto grips them, he descends into his mindscape again. In the mindscape again, Naruto wakes up to see two new people. One was a man with a black cloak on. The other was a woman who had a full-body skin-tight suit on. It was white and had pouches on it. For a better look, search for Boss's stealth suit from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, which I don't own either. The man looked at Naruto with a grimace, before he watched the same memories that Ruin watched. When he was done, his eyes showed a white-hot hatred. He looked at Naruto. I, Armageddon, will aid you in combat. The man's deep voice was strong. I, Thanatos the Deathbringer, will aid you as well. The woman's voice was flirty and Naruto gulped when she stared at him. Hey Armageddon-kun, isn't Oblivion-chan here somewhere? Yes, she is. Why do you want to know? The man asked the suddenly serious woman. 'Cause we need to bring her here as well. You want this kid to have 3 of the 7 cataclysms, the Deathbringer, and Kami knows what other powers this kid already has? Hell, we might as well find him and see if he would be willing to join. Armageddon replied with venom in his voice at the mention of the other sword. Naruto just stood there playing poker with Natsume, Crow, Hei, and Amber. When he looked up, he noticed that the others were looking right at him. What? He was in the middle of a rant and these guys showed up. He answered their unasked question. Outside of the mindscape. As Naruto came to, he noticed that the 2 guys had drug him to a nearby cave and were playing blackjack with clones. 21 bitch. Hiroshi yells out before Tomohiro hands him his money. And here I thought I was crazy. Crow says from Naruto's mindscape. You are crazy, Crow-sensei. Just not as crazy as they are. Was Naruto's smart reply. Hiroshi notices the kid is up. Good brat, you ready for some hardcore training? Naruto nods to this. Good, 'cause Tomohiro and I are gonna make you a force to be reckoned with. Hiroshi then poked Tomohiro. Ait, Teki, your job is to teach the boy how to use Ruin's special ability. My job is significantly harder. I gotta teach the kid how to use Armageddon and Thanatos. Hiroshi then notices Naruto do the Kagebunshin. Can they each learn? Naruto nods and Tomohiro and Hiroshi each grin a sadistic grin. Perfect, 'cause now I can even teach you my favorite move. This move is rather dangerous, even more dangerous than pissing off Otella or Suijin. Oh yeah, kid, if you meet a guy with long white hair, 13 tails, yellow eyes, a sword with the kanji for ice wolf on the blade, and a severe addiction to alcohol, run like hell and pray that he doesn't try to fight you. That is my older brother, Suijin. Tomohiro looks at Hiroshi. Run like a demon from hell was about to eat you. Suijin is certifiably insane, and that's when he's serious. Tomohiro adds with a shudder. He then drags one of the clones away and Naruto shudders when he hears a sadistic laugh come from the dark man. Hiroshi then shows Naruto how to use Armageddon, including its ability to transform into other weapons as needed. When Naruto reaches for Thanatos, Hiroshi stops him. Thanatos can transform as well, but her transformation is only to a scythe. Her ability in this FRM is access to an energy source known as the flow, which can be used to momentarily disrupt time to allow for the user to avoid things otherwise impossible. Along with the flow, you can also utilize her unique ability to literally cut into the void, meaning even if someone is able to make themselves intangible, they will still be cut. A warning though is that the flow will eventually kill you if you use too much of it. Hiroshi then sighed and sat down. I will tell you this now, when you first use the flow your body will change. Essentially you will become something similar to me, that is an animal-based demon. My animal form is that of a dragon. For me to use it, I must use the Tag Gala forbidden technique, Demon Seal. Release. In this form my strength, speed, reflexes, and instincts are increased to the point of almost nothing is superior. Suijin, however, can transform into a giant 13-tailed wolf with stage 2, and he has a spectral form at stage 3. I must stress that if you fight Suijin you must not hesitate or he will destroy you in a matter of nanoseconds. Naruto looked a little shocked at this. But just bribe him with booze and he'll be your best friend. Naruto nodded and Hiroshi looked at him. How long are we gonna be training? I am using the flow to surround this cave so that time does not pass during our training. Hiroshi replied. 2 days later, or just a few seconds really. Naruto walked out of the cave he had been training in with the 2 immortal travelers. He had Thanatos in sword form at his hip, Ruin on the small of his back, and Armageddon on his back. He also had a gauntlet on his arm with the symbol of the Crimson Fangs, the organization that Hiroshi, and the other Tag Gala family members, started. Damn. Tomohiro-sensei and Hiroshi-sensei fucking freaked when I used my Bloody Angel technique. Now that I can use it longer than a few seconds it should help considerably in battle. Damn them and their sadistic training, what the hell was up with that damn evil purple monstrosity? Ugh, evil sadistic sons of bitches. Naruto then notices that it is still raining and he lets the water wash away his stress. He then starts to walk away from the cave. He doesn't notice two yellow eyes watching him. The eyes close then disappear into the darkness. Naruto reaches the bridge and is watching as the rain hits the water and lightning flashes every now and then. He then thinks about the training he just did, and realizes that with the newest powers he obtained he was almost impossible to defeat, with the healing factor of the Kyubi, the pure offensive abilities that he acquired in his recent training, and the speed that he learned new things almost granted him the understanding of countless things. He was so powerful that the only people who could challenge him would be Suijin and Otella Tag Gala, Sky Marion, a friend of Hiroshi's, Novaria Grand's, Hiroshi's second in command, Kaita Tag Gala, one of Hiroshi's other older siblings, Shihiro Tag Gala, Grandmaster of the Crimson Fangs and Hiroshi's grandfather, and Zio Sylvets, one of Hiroshi's former enemies. Naruto shudders when he remembers some of the stories he was told about the power these people contained, power that made even Natsum look weak. These were people who the two said if he met and fought, his ass would be handed to him before he even drew his blade. While he liked to believe he was unstoppable, Naruto knew better. Rule 1, there is always someone stronger, faster, smarter, and even more handsome out there. Rule 2, the Crimson Fangs are known as beings of impressive power, and therefore fit all categories stated in Rule 1, except for Jervin, he's a douche. Hiroshi had drilled those two rules into Naruto's head during training. He had also told Naruto that Tomohiro could wipe out him and all he knows with one attack. Tomohiro had taught Naruto the weaker version of this attack. Naruto's version was called Meteor Call. Tomohiro's version was the Dragonic Supernova, a move he referred to as a Dimension Destroyer, and he also had a move called Terra Nova, which was another of his Dimension Destroyers. He taught Naruto the weaker version of it as well. This move was called the Lunar Bomb. Naruto could only use these moves when he had access to the flow, which Naruto could only sustain for 5 seconds before he used too much. Naruto knew that Hiroshi and Tomohiro could wipe him out, Hell, if what Tomohiro said was true, then Naruto wasn't even stronger than Rika, who was Hiroshi's daughter. At Zabuza's hideout, a shadow crept along the walls of the hideout, its FRMA blur of darkness and shadows. Whenever it reached a point that the random lights would cast out a glare, the shadow seemed to be a blur. The shadow's eyes were glowing yellow. The reason for being here were simple. He was hired by Gato to find out the gender of the apprentice of Zabuza's. When he finally reached the room that held the apprentice, the man drew in a deep breath and slowly opened the door to the room. When he walked in, he noticed the signs that whoever was in here wasn't asleep. When the apprentice turned around, the man noticed the signs that the apprentice was a girl. Damn, Hiroshi would have been able to get in here without being caught or even sensed. Damn him and his stealth. The man then drew a weird symbol in the air and caused Haku to go to sleep. The man then started to walk out. When the man reached outside the building, he ran into the demon brothers. The demon brothers took one look at the man and started to attack him. With a flash, they were held in a prison of ice. Ice style, ice prison. The man drawled out as the moon hit him. The man had long white hair, 5 scars across his face, yellow wolf-like eyes, 13 tails, and a broadsword at his waist. Be happy that I'm not using Nilfheim. He would have destroyed you in a matter of seconds. He then grinned. You just survived a battle with Suijin, the Crimson Shark, Tag Gala. Not many can make that claim. He disappeared and the ice shattered when he disappeared in a hazy mist. The demon brothers then swore that they would up their training first. The genin that they were told was guarding Tazuna kicked their asses, then they just barely managed to get away before Konoha's ANBU forces arrived to pick them up, and now this guy just shows up and freezes them solid. Gozu and I say we have Zabuza-sama train us. Meizu told his brother. I agree, Meizu and I. Gozu replies. At Gato's base, Suijin was pissed. He just caught the scent of Hiroshi and Tomohiro. If they were here, and Hiroshi used the flow, that meant they trained someone. Gato then walked into the room and sat in his chair with his 2 personal guards standing behind him with their hands on their swords. The 2 men looked at Suijin with no small amount of fear. He had beaten the shit out of them when they tried to touch his whiskey. Suijin looked at the short fat man. What the fuck do you want, Gato? If you're here about your damn mission, then I'll tell you this, my price just doubled. Pay up now or I walk away with my information. Suijin then noticed that Gato had another scent on him. A scent that reminded Suijin of another person he once knew. Why does this bastard smell like him? If the fucker is here, and Gato is getting help from him, I'll kill them both and destroy every trace of the guy. I'll pay double, but only if you swear to back me up when I turn against Zabuza. Gato replied, watching the man across from him with a small glare hiding his eyes behind his sunglasses. If you do that, then you'll have your money. Either way, you're still cheaper than Zabuza. Fine. Zabuza's apprentice is a girl, probably a member of the Yuki clan, or a distant member of one of the many families from Yukigeki. Suijin then looked at Gato deeply. I have one question for you. Have you come into contact with a man with short red hair, a small cut over his left eye, and a cocky I'm better than all of you attitude? Yes, the man tried to extort me recently. He failed and ran away when I mentioned your name though. Gato replied, only to shiver when the air temperature went down by almost 40 degrees. He told me that he would kill me if you ever left my service. Suijin watched the man and noticed that he was telling the truth, although Suijin then grinned. Good for you. If you had lied to me you would have died just now. Now let's talk payment plans. With Naruto. Naruto was asleep in a clearing. As he lay there, Haku came upon him and shook him awake. If you continue to sleep here you'll catch a cold, she told the shinobi boy. She then saw the deadpan look on his face. That would probably benefit you and Zabuza though, wouldn't it? He asked the shocked girl. How did you know? Haku asked Naruto, while reaching for her sunban. She then gasped when Naruto pulled out Armageddon and held it to her throat, its pure white blade glowing in the morning sun. Your scent, plus I was the one you ran into the other day. Naruto replies, causing Haku to blush. Naruto then returned Armageddon to its sheath and sat down against a tree, stretching his legs out and bringing an uninterested look upon Haku. So, why are you out here today? Someone attacked the demon brothers last night. They only remember him calling himself Suijin Tag Gala. At this Naruto starts to shake. Shit. Please tell me they didn't really try to fight him. That man is impossible for any but a truly S-ranked shinobi army to fight. He is good, really good. Please, tell Zabuza to meet Kisame-sensei and I in a day underneath Tazuna's bridge. Naruto then gets up and starts to head towards town. When he gets there he walks into the nearest bar and sits down. Suijin looked at the boy that just entered the bar and was about to turn back around when he noticed the weapons he had. Ruin, Thanatos, and Armageddon. I wonder if Hiroshi trained the Gaki. Might as well see if he knows who I am. Suijin then walks over to the kid. Mind if I sit here with ya? Sure, go ahead. Naruto then looked up and noticed a man who fit Suijin's description was sitting across from him. Sup, my name's Uzumaki Naruto, what's your name? Tag Gala, Suijin Tag Gala. He noticed Naruto flinching when he said his name. So, Hiroshi told you about me then? Good, that means I don't have to ask why you have my brother's swords. They probably told you not to fight me as well, didn't they? The man asked. Naruto nodded, already admitting that his death was probably gonna be quick. So, might I ask why you are here? I was hired by Gato. He wants the bridge builder dead. I want Gato to die, but I need him alive a little bit longer. You're here to protect the bridge builder, and Zabuza wants you to help get his surrogate daughter away from the life of a nuke Neen. I guess that if you survive this I'll train ya and let ya use Nilfheim here. Suijin then looked at the skeptical look the boy gave him. I ain't fighting, just making sure that Gato burns in hell for his crimes. You know, Hiroshi made you sound like a bad guy. Ya not bad, just lazy. Naruto then tensed when Suijin held Nilfheim at his throat with a small glare. Please do not accuse me of laziness, it tends to piss me off. Suijin then sheathed the blade and sat back down with a grin. He looked at the serving girl and motioned her over. Could you get me a round of the strongest stuff you got? Better yet, a round for everyone on me. Everyone cheered for the strange, generous man who had bought them all some more to drink. Naruto then held out a hand and grabbed the first drink to pass by him. The drink was a weird blue color. He drank it down in one and was immediately coughing. What the fuck was that? That, my dear child, is a concoction that only the heaviest drinkers can truly handle. That little concoction is all of the strongest drinks combined into one drink. The fact that you can still talk is a testament to your liver's strength. Or the demon in your belly that wants to kill me. Suijin then laughs at Naruto's expression. Relax Gaki, if I wanted to fight and or kill you it would be as easy as saying you stole those swords and stabbing you with a knife. He then grabbed two of the blue drinks and drunk both in one swig. Not as good as bourbon, but stronger than moonshine. The true drink of the gods, my little heaven bringer. Ah, it's been far too long since I had a true drink. Suijin then saw Naruto walk out. So what do you think of the kid, Nilfheim? That kid will go far, not as far as you, but far. I wonder though, he has two of the cataclysms and no doubt he will gain the others. You really think he will gain all 7 cataclysms? Yes, and he will gain me after you train him in using his demon release. That child can use the demon style, ice style, and several of your more infamous styles. It would be a sin not to teach the boy. Besides, Oblivion, Ragnarok, Ruin, Armageddon, Niflheim, Discordia, and Nguyen will eventually belong to the boy. Think about it, Suijin, you could help in the training of the next celestial assassin. I am the celestial assassin, no one can kill better than I can. But training this kid could help, or I could train him. You know that with my training he will be unstoppable. Shut up. Rude much? I was only offering to teach the child. Teach him what? How to be completely evil. Yep, dumbass. Technically I'm you, so you just called yourself a dumbass. I'm disconnecting this conversation. Suijin then sighed after the conversation with Niflheim and his inner demon. It looked like he was gonna train his newest apprentice soon. With Natsuki. Natsuki was staring at the wall surrounding Gato's base and was contemplating going in and stomping a hole in Gato's scrawny head. She turned around and saw that Gato had brought a man with long white hair, a fancy coat, and a cigarette in his hand. The man was also wearing glasses. He had an eye tattoo on one of his hands. He also had what looked to be a briefcase in his hands. One of the guards went to take it from him and the mystery man slammed the briefcase into his head. Don't touch. This is full of money, money that is worth more than your life. You are unworthy to even touch this money. The guard twitches and the man suddenly seems to start to bleed when he fires his blood out at the guard. My name, for you should know who killed you, is Chuji Suitengu. I do not own. He then sees Natsuki and begins to bleed again, only for Gato to come screaming out with fire on his head and Suijin coming out of the woods. Natsuki uses this moment to begin to run away, only for Suitengu and Suijin to appear in front of her. Where are you going? Suitengu asks her. Nowhere that involves you. She replies, already prepared to fight the man. Soniku Barreto. The bullets of blood go flying at Suitengu, who dodges most of them and gets hit by two. The two then start to sizzle. Katsu, the blood blows up and forces Suitengu to back up. Naruto comes out of the woods and shrugs off his coat, preparing to use his bloody angel technique. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but no one messes with my precious people. Ketsueki 2. Kaimamire no Tenshi. Naruto then has the wings spread and he starts to release even more blood. Ketsueki 2, Kaimamire no Tenshi, Kushizashi no Chizai. Roughly blood style, bloody angel, reign of the Impaler. With this large spikes made of blood start to drop out of the sky and pop up from under the ground. When Suitengu dodges one he gets hit by another. Suitengu's wound heals up and he throws off his coat and spreads his own wings made of blood. Bloody murder. He looks at Naruto who forms his sin blades. So, I get to fight another who knows the joy of using his blood as a weapon. So may I know the name of the man I'm about to kill? I always believe that you should know the name of the one who killed you, so my name is Suitengu, Chuji Suitengu. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto, and I completely agree that you should know the name of the one who kills you. So now I guess I'm gonna have to kill you. He starts a long string of hand signs and draws out a long cut along his palms. Say hello to a technique a friend of mine showed me. Blood style, blood dragon jutsu. A dragon made of the blood from Naruto's palm rushes at Suitengu, who merely stops the attack with a swing of his hand. Naruto sees this and flies even higher into the air, leaving bubbles of his blood in his wake. He then holds his hand up and starts to gather energy. The energy forms a dark orb above him. It grows until it's about the size of a small boat. Naruto grabs the energy and pulls it down, the energy seeming to fight the entire time, until it pops and the attack heads towards Suitengu. Meteor Call. Right as the attack was about to hit Suitengu, a giant white wolf jumps in front of it and releases a large amount of energy. The wolf had 13 tails and red eyes. Naruto starts to fall from the overuse of energy, but is caught by Natsuki on a crow summons. Naruto passes out and sees the wolf transform back into Suijin. A few hours later, Natsuki was scared. What was up with that guy with the tails and how did he move out of her sight so fast? The other guy who used blood looked like he was as surprised to be saved as she was to see a giant wolf. Naruto, having woke up an hour ago, had told her who, what, and how he gained such a move and who the wolf guy was. Immortals, demons, vampires, and even beings that could fight like Biju. Life was starting to be dangerous. What was next? A demon that could control time and space. In an alternate dimension. A demon about to step through another dimensional rift sneezes and then laughs. Back with Natsuki, she was about to lie down when Suijin came walking into her camp. "Come out now, woman." When she walked out of the cave she saw Suijin with Kisame, Zabuza, and Haku. "What is going on?" "Get the Gaki. Gato just signed a deal with Suitengu and Zoran. Zoran is a demon with a very nasty habit of destroying everything he sees. Zoran also owes me money, and has been jumping dimensions for about 5 or 6 years. The Gaki is the only one who can successfully kill the son of a bitch before he kills everyone. Don't ask how, just trust me." Suijin then quickly put his hands together and summoned a giant wolf made from ice. He jumps on and points towards the bridge. "Get him to the bridge." As Suijin takes off, Haku wonders if he could show her how to manipulate ice that easily. "Let's go." If what he said was true then we most definitely need to hurry. With Naruto and Team 7. Naruto was sitting with his teammates and telling them what happened after he walked out. He was just getting to the part of trying the new attack out when Natsuki comes out of the woods and yells for everyone to rush to the bridge. As everyone heads towards the bridge, Naruto feels like time is beginning to distort around him. He blinks and in front of him is an old man leaning on a walking stick. The old man whispers something to Naruto, causing his eyes to widen before narrowing. When the time distortion ended he released one of the 3 resistance seals he had placed on himself during his training with Crow. Naruto suddenly seemed to blur away, moving faster than the others thought possible. The old man had told him that Suijin was getting antsy and taking care of Suitengu, but Zoran was another story. He was a centuries-old demon who had a penchant for avoiding the hunters sent after him. Unfortunately his latest hunter was none other than the Crimson Shark of the Crimson Fangs, Suijin Tag Gala, who was also known as the second in command of the entire group. Sasuke was ecstatic. He had found his sister. The only problem was that now they were possibly about to get into a fight that they stood no chance of winning. He knew they were strong, hell he and Naruto could possibly take on any shinobi given enough time and luck. He then saw Naruto put on a burst of speed. Sasuke then activated his Mangekyo Sharingan and followed his friend. Kakashi was surprised. Natsuki and whoever this Hiroshi guy was had both agreed to train his student. This Hiroshi guy actually sounded like a guy who had once been feared across the world as a strong opponent. The man's name had been Thanatos, the Harbinger of Death. Wait, didn't Naruto say that one of the sentient blades he acquired was named Thanatos? Holy shit, Naruto was trained by a person once considered to be on par with the Kyuubi no Kitsune, and that was just in terms of power. Kakashi then grinned. He had the most powerful team since the Sannin, Uchiha Sasuke, the scion of the Uchiha clan, Namikaze Naruto, Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, and Sakura, who was being trained by Saya in the village right now. He then realized that Iwagakure would be gunning for his team even harder. When it was revealed, he then thought that what they were about to get involved with could kill them all. At the bridge, Suijin was having fun. His opponent, the white-haired Chuji Suitengu, was actually giving him a run for his money. "Come on blood boy, I've fought kitty cats tougher than you." Suitengu drew a katana out. of seemingly nowhere and tried to swing at Suijin, but Suijin brought Nilfheim up and blocked it. How's about we introduce ourselves? My name is Suijin, the Crimson Shark Tag Gala, and my most important piece of information is that this fight is over. Suijin's sword then splits into 15 counterparts, one in each hand and tail. This is my endgame. At these words Suijin seemingly disappears and then reappears behind Suitengu, sheathing his sword. Suitengu then growls and turns around to glare at the man. That is the best you can do? I feel insulted. Maybe I should go see if that girl in Kyumo, what was her name again? Oh yeah, Otella, maybe I should go pay her a visit and see if she will be my new toy? Suitengu then noticed that Suijin was quiet and the air was getting colder. You're dead. Suijin then begins to chant in an inaudible language. His sword starts to glow as the chant continues. Everyone appears next to the bridge when Suijin suddenly stops chanting and grabs the sword's hilt. Hell's Ice Age. The cold voice used to deliver the name of this technique was colder than Yukigekura. From the tip of the sword everything started to freeze over, even the water of the ocean. Beneath the bridge. When the ice reached Suitengu he was quickly frozen then shattered. Never threaten my family, you son of a bitch. He turned just as clapping was heard from the middle of the bridge. Everyone turned to look and saw Gato surrounded by mercenaries with a demon with red hair behind him. Thank you. He was charging such an exuberant rate that I was afraid I would actually have to pay for his services. Now hand over the bridge builder or I'll cut his daughter's throat after my men are done with her. Gato suddenly quit laughing when a claw was pushed into his back, before he was lifted up and swallowed by Zoran. The mercenaries suddenly smirked and all of them grew something, from wings to tails. Zoran then looks at everyone gathered there. Ah, such a good meal. I must thank the next human I see for being such great dishes. The demon then growls when Suijin throws an ice spear at him. The ice spear hits the demon, but doesn't do much. Is that all you can do? Pathetic. Naruto suddenly appears above him with one of his sin blades heading for the demon's throat. Zoran grabs Naruto's arm and throws him across the bridge, where Naruto skips like a stone. When he gets up, he sees the demon about to slam down on him. Quickly rolling to the side he avoids it. He then jumps up into the air and starts a long chain of hand signs. Fire style, heavenly flames. The white fire that Naruto uses hit the demon and it just laughs before it swallows the flames and he points at the boy. When he points all the demons on the bridge start to charge at Naruto, but before they get halfway there, they are cut off by the rest of the shinobi and Suijin. Suijin then grins sadistically, first one to kill 100 gets a free drink on me. With this said all the shinobi bring out their weapons, Natsuki draws out a tanto, Kakashi draws out his father's old sword, Sasuke draws his wakizashi, Tenten brings out 2 cleaver swords, Zabuza brings out the kubikurabucho, Kisame brings out Samahata, Haku forms Nodachi out of ice, and Suijin draws out Nilfheim. They all start rushing at the demons when a sudden flash of black lightning appears and one of the demons is smashed by a fist. Tomohiro stands up and throws his sunglasses off and lets the demons see who they are fighting. Hiroshi suddenly appears behind a couple of demons and slits their throats with 2 daggers. Fire style, demon flame wave. Naruto yells out only for Zoran to eat these flames as well. What the fuck, how am I supposed to do anything to him? Hiroshi points to Armageddon and grins. Naruto then facepalms. Of course, he says. As he draws out the blade, its white blade shining in the afternoon sun, dark flames of Armageddon, with the sudden yell and slash of the blade black fire hotter than even the Amaterasu flames shoot towards the demon. When Zoran tries to swallow the flames they prove to be too hot and he starts to cough before growling and gathering energy. Congratulations child, you finally pissed me off. I will devour all you have ever held dear, even those closest to you will feel fear. I will never stop until you have felt the pain of knowing that everyone you have ever known or cared for is slowly being digested in my stomach. Although the ice girl there might make a good bed warmer for my clan. The air starts to be bathed in a bloodlust so powerful that even the surviving demons start to become scared. Really now, you will do that to those closet to me? Don't make me laugh, you won't even make it off this bridge alive. With that cryptic remark, Naruto suddenly sheathes Armageddon and holds out his hand, where a swirling blue ball starts to appear. Before long though, the ball gains a sickly purple color and an extremely evil aura surrounds it. All of a sudden what appear to be shuriken blades appear around the technique. Say hello to one of my father's original techniques, with my own twist of course. Oniton, Raisin Shuriken. Naruto charges at the demon, who gathers energy around him in order to fire off one of his demonic bomb techniques. When Naruto reaches the demon, he pumps as much chakra into the attack as possible and the move expands and starts to devour he flesh from the demon. When the attack stops, nothing is left of the demon except for a stain on the ground. That was once a mighty demon. Suijin, Hiroshi, and Tomohiro suddenly disappear and all the demons start to fall into pieces. When the three reappear they snap and all the demons explode into clouds of blood. The three look at each other and grin. Suijin then walks over to Naruto and hands him Nilfheim. Kid, you earned that sword. Now listen up, with that sword in your possession now, you can easily use my version of ice style. The attack you saw me use when you all appeared was the blade's strongest attack, Hell's Ice Age, an attack that is focused from around the tip of the blade into the surrounding area. The ice is cold enough to freeze, even the hottest flames formed by Armageddon, so use it wisely. Suijin and the other two suddenly disappear in their signature way, Tomohiro in a flash of black lightning, Suijin in a mist of ice, and Hiroshi in a swirl of black flames. Naruto suddenly collapses and hits the ground, causing everyone who was celebrating to stop and rush over. When they get there they notice a grin on his face and his light snoring. When everyone realized that he was just asleep they all let out little chuckles, before Haku and Tenten came up and helped him up and started heading towards Tsunami's place. A couple days later, Naruto woke up with a start. The last thing he remembered was using his strongest move against that demon. Of course Natsum and Crow chewed him out and drilled into his head that if he hadn't had Natsum sealed inside him the move would have killed him. He then got up and sealed all of his new weapons except for Nilfheim into a seal o' his palm. He put Nilfheim on his side and walked out of the room. When he reached the kitchen he saw that Tsunami had started breakfast. Looks good, he said in a joyful voice, causing Tsunami to jump a little at the sudden noise. When she turned around she saw Naruto there with only one sword. She blushed a little when she saw that he didn't have a shirt on underneath the jacket, but as she looked closer she saw a scar running from one shoulder all the way to his opposite hip. As she starts to tear up, Naruto realizes what she was looking at and closes the jacket up. Forget that you ever saw that. It is a remnant of a bad time that doesn't exist anymore. Naruto then sighs as Tsunami continues going about making breakfast. As everyone wakes up and come on down they notice Tsunami's glum look. Sasuke walks up to her and asks what was wrong and she told them about the scar. Everyone looked at Kakashi and he sighed. Naruto got that when he was only 7. He was training and some people attacked him due to his secret. If it wasn't for the fact of his healing he wouldn't be dead right now. He then turned around. That was also the time in which he met some of the people closest to him, and lost someone close to him. He then cheered up, so I say let's go eat. He then proceeds to go into the kitchen and notices Naruto staring out into space. Naruto turns his head and nods to Kakashi, who remembers that Naruto had made an elemental Rasengan. So how long have you been able to do the Rasengan? Since I was 8. I made that version a few months before graduation. He then sighed, you didn't have to tell them about the scar, it happened a long time ago and I chose to forget about it myself. Naruto then sighed and quickly finished eating. Well then Kakashi-sensei, I guess I'll go get some training in. Naruto, the Crow of Konoha. Chapter 6, Sakura's Training and Council Beatings. Sakura stood up panting as she looked across from her and saw Saya with her sword lying against a tree a few feet away. She then got into Saya's stance, a stance that involved a lot of kicking and using the hands to either twist on the ground or use any number of weapons. Sakura currently could only use a katana and kunai while using the fighting style. However, it was only 3 days ago that her team left for their first C-rank mission. She knew she couldn't go on that mission. She was way too weak. The first thing she started working on was her abysmal reserves. She had perfect control, and it was only because she was weak. Saya kept at her to increase her reserves by utilizing the ultimate training material, making Sakura disguise herself as Sasuke and run from his fangirls while maintaining the henge. Sakura saw the fangirls and wondered if that was truly how she used to act. She felt disgusted at her previous actions. Saya eventually even got Sakura her own katana, a beautiful blade with a red gem on the hilt and a slight curve in the blade along with a groove. The katana that Saya uses in Season 2 of Blood Plus. Saya stood across from the girl that Naruto had her train while he was away on his mission and realized that she was training her to be more like her than she had realized. Well, dear sister, do you approve? Saya then unsheathed her katana and made a bring it on motion with her other hand. Come on Sakura, I thought you wanted to get stronger than me. Do you truly believe that will be possible? If you don't attack me, if that is the limit to your ambition, maybe I should train that Ino girl instead. Saya chuckled when she saw the death glare she was receiving before Sakura disappeared and reappeared behind her with her sword in motion. Without even looking, Saya blocked the blade with the sheath of her sword as she kicked out at Sakura, forcing her to move backwards. Sakura dodged the second kick and retaliated with a kick of her own. When the kick connected, Saya went flying back and slowly got back up, her eyes glowing red and her small wounds healing quickly. She then sheathed her sword and motioned for Sakura to follow her. When they stopped, they were in front of the tattoo shop. Walking in, Sakura noticed that Kyler was in the back staring at a black blade with the word retribution across the blade. He then looked up and his appearance changed to look like a lean 20-year-old shinobi. So Saya, she beat you this time? The man asked, his blue eyes cold with strength. He then stood up and moved over to Sakura and looked down at her. So, you're the one who Naruto wanted us to train? Damn kid must think I'm a miracle worker. First he brings me that Rock Lee kid and has me find out what's wrong, and now he brings me you. I can get you up to par, but you will need to follow my very strict training plan, starting with a set of 15 laps around the village, 1,000 punches, 2,000 kicks, and swinging a blade 1,000 times in each direction. Do you have any complaints? Sakura thinks about it and then looks at him. Yeah, that plan leaves no time for me to focus on my genjutsu, medical ninjutsu, or my chakra reserves. Kyler looks down at the girl and notices a spark in her eyes, the same spark that Durzo had seen in his eyes. He then grins when he hears her reasoning. Good. I was hoping you would realize that I purposely left those out just to see if you were sharp. Cut all of that in half and add in genjutsu training your reserves, and finally sometime at the hospital where you will be learning medical ninjutsu from a friend of mine. Just one warning, my friend at the hospital can be a little harsh and rough around the edges. You'll recognize her by her red hair with white strips. He then shivers as if though it was cold in the tattoo shop. Oh, and Sakura-san, don't touch her hair. Everyone just stared at him as he then went into the back cursing about immortal people who just wouldn't die. He then came out with a box. This box has some clothes that I used to wear, also the person who you're gonna be training under has a set. These are, by our standards, called wet boy grays, and they are the clothes that the shinobi of our lands wore. Sakura took them out of the box and went into the back room and changed. When she came out she had the grays on and was testing her ability to move in them. Wow, they're like a second skin almost, these are awesome. But I surely can't just take them, she said after looking at them. Don't worry Sakura, they haven't been worn in so long that I almost forgot what they looked like. Let's just say that I have a set for your teammate Sasuke and Naruto already has a set. His plan will be for you three to wear them in the Chunin exams so that it looks like you all are the closest team in the exams. Kyler then picked up another box. In this box was another sword. The sword was a Nodachi and it had the appearance of an obsidian black blade, a handle that was wrapped in yellowish leather, and the inscription of Sicut Perdition Ambulations, Mortem Vivit Libera. As betrayal walks, death lives freely. Any guesses as to the origin of the idea for this blade? I found this sword in an old ruin I was riding a storm out in. Whoever it cuts will feel their life force drained and transferred to the wielder. However, it will grow stronger if fed the life force of someone close to you, but I wouldn't advise that. Naruto was actually almost able to find a seal that would strengthen the weapon by absorbing the life force of anyone. Kyler then noticed the glint in her eyes. With this sword I will protect my teammates until my dying breath, and if I must fight the entire fucking village to ensure they are safe, then so fucking be it. Sakura then places the sword on her back with chakra and walks out to start training. A month later, Sakura got up and put on her grays, equipped her Nodachi, and went off to start her laps around the village. She was up to 15 laps easy. Her punches were strong enough that only Tsunade of the Sanmin could take one of her punches directly. Her kicks were to the point that she was learning some things from the taijutsu master Might Guy, who she found was Kakashi's eternal rival, and the sensei of the kunoichi that replaced her for the C rank. Her reserves were equivalent to Sasuke's, and her knowledge of poisons, medical ninjutsu, and genjutsu were almost equal to Tsunade's knowledge. She had even managed to cast a genjutsu that Kurenai couldn't match, and one that covered her hands when she did any medical ninjutsu. Her four teachers, Kyler, Saya, Anko, and Vi, had made sure that Sakura was one of the strongest kunoichi the village had ever produced. The only problem she had was the sword. Without the help of Naruto, who was the only person in the village to actually use a Nodachi, she would be stuck at her current level. She had gone on one C rank with Guy's team and had acquired her first kill, a bandit who had been about to rape another woman. Unlike what everyone thought she would do, she didn't freeze up or start to freak out. Instead she just diligently moved on and took out more bandits. At the end of the mission report Guy had asked her why she didn't and she merely replied, "Scum like that doesn't deserve to call itself human, and therefore is less than human and needs to be put down permanently before they do anything else." Sakura finished her training and suddenly Ino and a few other girls showed up and noticed her. "Hey Sakura, why are you training? Don't you know that Sasuke won't like you if you think you can be stronger than him? Or maybe you're trying to make yourself stronger so that he can use you as a human shield?" Sakura just ignored the girl, who got pissed at the attitude of the fangirl princess, as she was once named. When the girl tried to grab Sakura, Sakura suddenly grabbed her wrist and twisted it before pushing her away with a warning to never touch her again. The girl then tried to pull out a kunai, but all of a sudden 3 blades were pointed at the girl's neck, 2 Nodachi and 1 Wakizashi. Sakura looked up and saw Naruto and Sasuke standing there. Naruto had 4 new weapons on him, 1 katana, 1 chikudo, and 1 broadsword. He also had a sword wrapped in bandages in his hand pointed at the girl. "We would like it if you left our teammate alone," Sasuke said in a monotone voice. "Otherwise we might just slip and let you bleed out," Naruto stated with a blank look. "Too bad you have no training. otherwise I would consider a spar against your pathetic ass. I guess I'll just stay back and laugh my ass off as you flounder around in the dirt." Sakura finished with an ankoish grin. The three suddenly sheath their weapons and disappear in different swirls, Sakura in a swirl of cherry blossoms, Naruto in a swirl of ice, black fire, and purple lightning, Sasuke in swirl of black fire and white lightning. Ino just looked on in wonderment. At Sasuke's house, the three showed up at the same time and Sakura was pulled into a hug by Sasuke. She was blushing when she heard the click of a camera. Her and Sasuke looked over and saw Naruto with a camera. He had a kitsune-ish grin. The camera suddenly burst into black flames. As Naruto was in the corner crying about his newest camera being burnt, Sakura and Sasuke were talking about what all happened on the trip. When it got to the point of Naruto's secrets, Naruto nodded his head and allowed Sasuke to tell Sakura both of them. Sakura took a look at Naruto. "So, your father, our yondaime, didn't kill the Kyuubi like we were told, but instead sealed her into you? What the fuck is up with that shit?" She then went into a rant about the stupidity of the villagers. "Well, I see she met Vi and Anko, and more than likely got along with both of them." He then clapped his hands and told Sakura and Sasuke that they should get some sleep before they stayed up so late that they missed the call to the council that was sure to come in the morning. The next morning in the council room, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto all used their respective shushins to appear in the council room in their wet boy greys. Sakura's had an inversed Uchiha fan on her greys, Sasuke's had a regular Uchiha fan on his greys, Naruto had his trench coat over his greys but the front had an Uzumaki swirl. They also each had a weapon on display. Naruto had his bandaged weapon out with the others in seals on his arms, Sakura had her Nodachi on her back, and Sasuke had his Chikuto in the small of his back. The civilian council members then shiver as they notice the cold look that adorned the face of each member of Team 7. Kakashi then appeared in the room looking as serious as a heart attack. He had his father's tanto on his back and he also had something else. A set of bracers with wolves running across them. Naruto pulled the bandages off the sword on his back and everyone saw that it was covered in scales. Sakura drew her Nodachi and everyone watched as the blade glowed red before returning to its regular pure black blade. And Sasuke pulled out his Chikuto and watched as it was covered in black flames. The three then sheathed their weapons and saluted the Sandaime as he walked into the room. Sakura's former mother stood up and pointed at the three. "See how the demon has corrupted Uchiha-sama and my daughter." She then noticed that none of them were listening to her. "Uchiha-sama, surely you wish that you could be on another team, I mean surely you would like to have the power to defeat your sister, right?" Sasuke suddenly looked at the woman with as much hate as he could muster and his Mangekyo Sharingan activated. "Watch what you say around me and my team, all of us are stronger and worth more than you are. If not for Naruto, how many of us would not be here right now? How many of you merchants wouldn't be spending your dirty money? How many of you who complain and call him demon would be sitting with true demons right now? All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. I heard Naruto's secret from his lips, and I haven't changed my opinion of him. The very fact that none of you are shinobi makes it so that you don't know anything of our arts, so how would you know what the yondaime did? Answer those questions before you insult my brother and remember, without Naruto you all could be maggot food right now." Sasuke then sat down in a chair that magically appeared. "You know the chair, it's the same one that always appears when you're moving in the dark and is put right where your toe is gonna be." All of the civilians suddenly looked down before Sakura looked back up with a venomous look. "See what I mean? He obviously has done something to Uchiha-sama .. She would have finished, had Sakura not brought her Nodachi out and held it up to her throat. "Please don't talk about my teammates like that, Haruno-san." Sakura then appeared right next to Sasuke and sat down in the other chair. Naruto then sighed and pricked his thumb, gathering blood at his fingertip and having it form the shape of a small bullet. Sakura suddenly saw red Fuck the Kyubi and its fucking human form dash. She suddenly shouted before a small hole appeared in her forehead. By order of the Sandaime, you are sentenced to immediate execution for the breaking of an S-ranked law. Naruto stated coldly as he lowered the hand he used to fire his blood bullet. He then stared at everyone in the room, his cold calculating eyes causing even the stoic Hyuga and Aburame heads to shiver. Sandaime-sama, I believe it's time we revealed just who the civilians have been abusing this entire time, especially with the Chunin exams right around the corner, even more so since IWA, Kumo, and Kiri supposedly appearing in these exams. With the information circulating, we could see who wishes to truly have peace with us, or see who could go to war with us. Hiruzen sighed and looked at everyone. Naruto-san is referring to the proponent of him being the son of Yellow Flash and the hot-blooded Habanero, or Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. As the words were spoken, all the civilians suddenly shrunk even further into their seats as the Shinobi Council suddenly spiked their ki. You mean to say that you lied to us? Hayashi asked the Sandaime. I should have seen it, he acts so much like a combination of his parents. Yes, but not with the intent of not trusting anyone. The intention was to not tell him until he could adequately defend himself against Iwagakure. I had to be sure that he could defend himself, otherwise IWA and all of Minato's enemies, foreign and domestic, would have jumped at a chance to kill him. Hiruzen replied, cursing Minato once again for dying that night. As everyone turned to Naruto to see his reaction, he was in the middle of playing poker with Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi, and 3 ANBU. Everyone's sweat dropped when Naruto suddenly won everyone's money in one hand. As Naruto pocketed the money, he saw everyone looking at him. What? You all were talking and I didn't care. He then looked right at the Sandaime. So, did my parents have a house? Kakashi was the one to speak up this time. Actually yes, they did. It also happens to be my house. Wait, you mean that large compound you live in was my parents'? Why the hell do you live there? Naruto shouted. I was your father's student, and after the war he even officially adopted me as his son. So technically the house belongs to both of us, at least until you're 18, then it's all yours. For that matter, we could officially adopt anyone we wanted into the clan, so long as they agree to it. Kakashi replied, before Naruto hit him over the head with a ukulele. Ukulele no good. Naruto said as he handed it over to the random guy that was holding it beforehand. Yes, I took that line from FLCL the anime, no I don't own that, and yes it was funny as hell. So, since I refer to like 7 people as Nii-san or Ne-san, we could have them be members of our family? Technically yeah. Kakashi replied, not even letting the bump on his head faze him. Unfortunately you still need for them to agree. Naruto suddenly disappeared, and when he reappeared 7 people were with him, Anko, Hinata, Yugao, Saya, Vi, Kyler, and Natsuki. When everyone saw all the people they suddenly were about to attack. Natsuki before Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi suddenly had their weapons out. They all sat back down, causing everyone to let out a small breath. Hayashi saw that his oldest daughter was in the crowd. So, Naruto-san, is there a reason my oldest daughter is in this group? Yep, I told you that I called people Nii-san or Ne-san. Hinata was also my first friend in my own age group. Besides, like Kakashi Oni-san said, it's their choice. Naruto replied, keeping his cool. Kakashi saw everyone in the group and suddenly had a very devious smirk. Since Sasuke and Natsuki are the last Uchiha, they could agree to merge the Uchiha and Namikaze clans. This would probably have to be made official before the Chunin exams. Sasuke suddenly smirked as Naruto smirked as well. I, Namikaze Naruto, would like to officially adopt Sakura into my clan. Sakura looked at the two and saw their matching smirks before she nodded her head. I, Uchiha Sasuke, would like to ask Namikaze Sakura to marry me. Sakura suddenly smiled and ran up to hug him, which caused them to hear a click. When they turned around they saw that everyone had cameras out. They glared before the Sandame officially married the two together and with that allowed the merger of the Namikaze and Uchiha. Afterwards all the people Naruto brought with him suddenly agreed to become a member of the Namikaze clan, until only Hinata was left. She looked at her father who suddenly had a devious plan. Say, Namikaze-san, would Hinata be allowed to keep the Hyuga part of her name? If so, I wish to extend an olive branch of sorts from my clan to yours, in exchange for keeping my daughter safe from the Hyuga elders. I wish to be allowed to send my other daughter to your compound in case of the elders' negative influence. Naruto looked at Kakashi who nodded. Yes sir, Hyuga-san. Hayashi then looked upon Hinata. Hinata, if you so wish it, then I have no other problem. She smiled, hugged her father, and then walked over to Naruto and hugged him. As Hiruzen saw that before that meeting, the Namikaze clan was down to one official member and one unofficial member, it was now up to 10 members, with 2 of the belonging to 2 of Konoha's most influential clans, the Uchiha and the Hyuga. It was gonna be a glorious and dangerous Chunin exams this year. In Iwagakure at Tsuchiki's office, Anoki was looking over the news from his spy located in Konoha and noticed that Namikaze Minato had a kid, and the kid was already becoming known as the Crow of Konoha. He then noticed the other weapons the boy had on him. Get me Kaita Tag Gala. In a flash of light a woman with red hair and pure blue eyes appeared in the office. What is it, Anoki Dano? He showed her the picture and pointed out the weapons. So, he's using my brother's swords. Hell, he even has Tomohiro's. Anoki then tells her to choose the genin that she will take to Konoha for the Chunin exams. In Kyomogakure in the Reikich's office, he was lifting weights when suddenly in a blur of black wind a woman with dark green hair suddenly appeared with the latest reports from around the elemental nations. She showed him the news from Konoha and even pointed out that her brothers had apparently trained a Gaki from Konoha. He ordered her to take a team consisting of Yujito and 2 other genin along with B and his team. She smirked and wondered who the kid was. In Kirigakure in the Mizuki's office, Mei was laughing as she saw that the Namikaze kid was obviously trained by Kisame. He had a fragment of Samahata after all. She called for a list of people that consisted of Shihiro Tag Gala and his team, as well as Fate Tag Gala and her team. When they appeared she showed them the picture and noticed when they paled slightly. What's wrong? This boy will be the strongest opponent Konoha will ever be able to throw at anyone. I'm talking about S rank by 18. He has 4 blades he shouldn't have, Thanatos, Armageddon, Ruin, and Nilfheim. These blades belong to 3 people, 2 of which are Tag Gala family members. He probably could take on most of us if he is as trained as we believe. Shihiro and Fate stated alternatively. Thank you for watching the video, and comment down below if you want to see the next part. And of course, like, subscribe and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.